Examine is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
With I, John Shefsky, who listens to Rich Slaton read true stories about lawbreakers.
I think I said it sexier than you did.
You did. I didn't. Did I claim before I was going to say it? Like, this is going to be way sexier than how you said it.
Well, you just sat on the S so long in Lawbreakers, it was very disconcerting.
Well, I'll tell you what I didn't sit on. Your lap, you fucking dick.
Oh, well, you will. After you hear this great theme song.
Here goes!
Crime is the show that starts now.
Oh, like right now?
Oh, yeah, do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything to me. Don't you dare.
Crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send anything.
Label it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good. We have a great show today, guys. One of our very favorites. I don't even know where I would begin to describe her credits and her comedy. Let me just say this. One of the longtime best in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
Recent paid regular at the Comedy Store.
Oh, yeah. She's going to be on TV, too.
She's going to be on some motherfucking TV.
Comedy Central.
So I heard of that channel.
But even besides her career,
yeah.
Candice is just fucking rock solid.
Just super cool.
Cool person.
Bad motherfucker.
Bad motherfucker.
Welcome our guest,
Candice Thompson!
That was an amazing intro.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
That's so kind. Now I'm blushing because she said it was an amazing intro.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
So
she wins us over with every word.
Guys.
You're so beautiful.
Why do we even do this?
I don't know. I guess we can end it. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, that's been fun.
Come back next week for intros.
Support us on Patreon.
Yeah, please.
You can get all the bonus episodes.
Costs a lot to do these intros, you know?
Yeah, these are expensive intros.
Very expensive. Rich's green tea alone. We can't just afford,
Iced green tea latte, almond milk, unsweetened. Get it right.
You can see how financially everyone's doing at the table by who brought their drink from home.
Well, eventually, hopefully, the
But
podcast
it's in
will
a
pay me back for
Starbucks
this.
travel mug.
That was given to me.
Snap. That you stole.
I didn't steal it.
You stole it, criminal.
I didn't steal it, dude. I'm not a criminal. I just laugh about them.
John Leonard Orr.
Or else. That's his last name, Orr?
That's his name, O-R-R.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Orr.
Yeah. Well, because I thought he might be a girl, so like John Leonard Orr.
This other
Mary
guy,
Clay.
Jim Leonard. Okay.
Yeah. John Leonard Orr was born on April 26th, 1949 in the suburbs.
What a bitch.
Yeah, I know, right?
49?
Ugh.
Not even 50? I mean, who gets born in the 40s, right, Candice? Ew.
Lots of people, actually.
Oh, then I digress. Or I take that back, whatever the term is.
Where was he born? In the suburbs of Los Angeles.
Ew. Who gets... I'm just joking.
You do.
I
You
do.
were born in the suburbs of Los Angeles
No, I
very
was
specifically.
born in San Bernardino, Orange County, where all the counties meet.
Suburb of Los Angeles.
Okay, I'll take that.
His father owned a sporting goods store, and the family lived in a modest two-bedroom house that shared a fence with his grandparents' place.
That's how expensive it is in California. You can own a freaking sporting goods store, and they're like, you can have a studio apartment. That's it.
I didn't say he was good at owning stores.
That's a good point. I got to start looking into things before commenting. You're so right.
He would later describe his childhood as all Ozzie and Harriet.
What's that reference?
That's a show about how nice it was in the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was molested. His mom
I was
did a
gonna
lot
say
of drugs while she was
child abuse.
vacuuming.
Okay.
Yeah, so
By
Rolling Stones
John's
song.
account, he had a fairly normal childhood for the 1950s of America. He and his friends played around the neighborhood. Sometimes they explored the foothills. And John developed a love for hunting. He once killed a skunk on impulse, putting an arrow through its throat despite the fact it's neither food nor a trophy kill.
He just felt
He's
good.
a sociopath.
He just felt good. Well, Candice
What?
is-
I'm not saying any of
She's
that.
labeling it right now. He murdered that skunk.
Look, he once stood in the rain to watch while firefighters failed to save a burning house. So this is all just normal kid stuff that he's
No.
doing so far.
Kill Pepe
Well,
Le
what
Pew.
would you have done if there was a burning house in the rain? And the firefighters would probably be like, "Get the hell out of the way, kid!" You'd be like, "All right, I'll just watch."
I actually watched a house burn down once.
You did?
Yeah. It's a
And
house in my
didn't call
neighborhood.
for help?
No. The firefighters were there.
He's just watching and snickering.
He's like, no, I set the fire.
I'm just rubbing my nipples as I watch this fire. I'm like, I'm 8. I don't know why this is so hot.
You're trying to put the fire out with a load. You can't come on the fire, Rich. You're like, it makes me so hard.
I can.
He's a weird arson.
I have.
Arson fetish.
Let's go camping
Fire
again.
is sexy. If you ever look at the way flames are, they're very curvy.
What if Rich's cum made it grow bigger?
Yeah.
Like an oil fire?
I
He
would
throw oil
I
on
would
it.
bottle it and sell
Yeah,
it
yeah.
across the country.
Yeah.
He got that fire.
Yeah. They tell you at restaurants, like, don't try to put this grease fire out with water or Rich's cum.
Or
It'll only
Rich's
get worse.
jizz.
Oh, wow. Right out the gate. Sorry, Mom. That's an early sorry, Mom, for today's podcast.
Early sorry, Mom.
Early
that might be
sorry,
the
Mom.
earliest.
Preemptive.
That might be the
Actually, no.
earliest.
We already
Your
said
earliest
some
one.
vile
Send me
stuff.
the.
Yeah.
We might want to just start with a disclaimer.
It's your
that just
mom.
goes,
She
"Sorry,
knows
Mom."
your jizz is fire. If
But-
anybody knows, your mom knows.
My friends that I used to have, we used to riff when we were in high school. We used to say, my mom says I know how to fuck. Like, we would just always say, my mom
It's
says,
so
like, you can
gross.
totally say, my mom says, but it was like a thing you try to throw it at another friend, you know? Like, my mom says I know how to, my jizz is fire.
It's so inappropriate.
This is funny. My jizz is fire.
But she knows.
But the happy golden era existence would not last. His father's business
The golden era
failed.
of shooting skunks.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the shooting skunks, the watching fires, the two-bedroom house, it all went away.
This is the Make America Great Again speech, isn't it? We used to shoot skunks and jizz on fire.
You remember that?
But
Yeah.
now minorities are making it hard for us.
Now they shooting our skunks for us.
Yeah, that's right.
That was my skunk.
Give me back my skunk jizz, boy. Yeah, get out of my town. I'm going to jizz on that.
His father's business failed, so he started a new one, which also failed.
Oh, that's why they lived in the apartment.
Yeah.
Connected to their
It's a house,
grandparents'
just a
house.
small one.
But
nice, modest.
And it was
That's
next
what an
to their
apartment is,
next
a
to
small
their
house.
their grandparents' house. That's a recipe for a serial killer.
When he was
Or
16,
Everybody Loves Raymond episodes. Go on.
when he was 16, his mother up and left, saying she would call in a few days.
Mommy be back. You know what,
that Chris
Mommy
Rock?
going
Yeah.
to the club. Mommy be back.
Then mommy be right back. Is that a Chris Rock reference?
Several days later, she made good on that promise, calling home to inform the family that she'd gone back to her childhood home in Missouri.
By herself?
How old was she?
I don't know.
Because she was like a 16-year-old mom. You're like, what do you
Yeah,
can't
how old
blame
was
her.
the
This is
kid?
the old days. When
No,
people,
no, they were reasonably aged.
How old was the kid?
He was 16. when this
Oh,
happened.
he's old enough that his mom could ditch him without having...
Yeah, he'll probably
Yeah.
be successful in a competitive
Repercussions?
industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need your parents to leave if
Yeah,
you want
it's
to
not
be
like
good
he
at
was
something.
like 3.
Yeah.
As high school came to an end, John set his sights on becoming a firefighter. Ever since watching that house burn down in the rain, he developed a fascination with fire. An LA fire captain told him that one of the best ways to get experience was to become a military firefighter. So on his 18th birthday, he left home for Amarillo Air Force Base.
Can you, like, choose to be a firefighter in the military? I thought they just put you where they want you.
Well, they actually tried to put him into as like a mechanic at first, and he said, "Fuck that."
Yeah, no, I
And ended
can't
up
kill
going
people
for,
like
You're going to
this.
do two things. Fight fires. Yeah, you can't kill people. Hey, actually, you can, dude. Mechanic. You
In
can
a
easily,
mechanic?
Yeah. You're just like, your brakes are done.
Oh, yeah. But there's-
Hey, hold this wrench with your face.
It's not the same satisfaction.
That's true.
Because you don't get to see it. You don't know when it's going to happen.
You could be like, I'm just going to follow you and see how my
Yeah.
work does. And just have your GoPro or whatever on your hood.
A GoPro back in the 50s?
Well, they just called
Or
it a camera.
60s, whenever he was old enough.
It's okay.
He attended Air Force firefighting school. In 1968, he married Jody, his high school sweetheart, before the Air Force sent him to Spain and then Great Falls, Montana. He was honorably discharged in 1971, having only fought a handful of fires over the 4 years. He and Jody, now 7 months pregnant, moved back to L.A.
You've been shooting that fire.
Mm-hmm.
He did,
Internally, though.
where John applied
That's
for
pretty
jobs.
gross. That's pretty gross. I'm sorry. I'm grossed out by that.
You're
How,
gross.
how come cream pieing is like you're like, oh, dude, you didn't have to do that. You can say jizzing, but you're like, I meant on top.
Oh, that's fine.
But then when you say like inside, everyone's like, ugh.
Ew.
Yeah, that's the makings of a new person.
This
Gross.
intelligent podcast gets grosser every week.
Dude,
grosser every week.
It's still
It's
intelligent.
mostly my fault, too, though, to be honest.
Because it's you and me on the
Because
podcast.
it's Shefsky.
Yeah.
How dare you? I barely talk jizz. Actually, I probably talk jizz a lot. But it's fascinating, is it not? Like that you should get shot out of a
Jizz talk
t-shirt
with
cannon
Shefsky.
called a cock. I mean, it's pretty fascinating.
She was 7 months pregnant and moved back to L.A., where he applied for jobs with the L.A. Fire Department, the LAPD, and the L.A. County Sheriff. He waited for a call, but the phone never rang. He found himself working long shifts for the Sparklets Bottled Water Company and drinking heavily in his off hours.
Drinking Sparklets?
Drinking-
Heavily?
I was going to say, you probably would,
Well,
right?
he's got an endless supply. Why wouldn't you?
Probably throw a little vodka in one of those sparklers bottles,
You
right?
wouldn't even know the
That'd be a lot of
difference.
vodka.
Later that year, he received a letter. The L.A. Fire Department wanted him to come test for a job as an officer. Yes. He passed a litany of tests: written, physical, agility, an oral interview, and the medical exam. But then came the psych exam.
He a little cray. It
Came back cray
it just
cray.
has a cray stamp on it. I didn't even know they had those. I need that stamp.
During the Rorschach test, he saw what was pretty clearly a vagina.
The Radio Shack test? This
Yes.
guy can't get a good job anywhere.
The ink blot test.
I know what you said.
Yeah, yes, heathen.
This is a comedy podcast where we're encouraged
There's
to
no
rip.
jokes.
Okay.
I've never heard of a joke before.
Okay, we're not joking.
Serious.
Sorry.
Serious jizz.
Jizz.
He saw what was pretty clearly supposed to be a vagina, but afraid of being labeled a sex fiend, John said he saw a map of Italy.
And that got him in trouble? Dude, I'd fail that thing. I'd fail this test too.
To be fair, there is a lot of bomb pussy in Italy.
That's a good point.
I've heard that.
Just saying.
I actually had a friend who said it. No, it was Spain. My friend said the hottest woman he's ever been with is in Spain. And that's only one person, so this isn't a good survey.
John failed the psych test.
I was like, wait a second.
Wait, was that the only thing he...
There was also a 500-question MMPI test that isn't attached to it, but I figured not to include.
He answered all the questions with kill in all caps. He seems all right to fight fires.
He failed the psych test. He was too passive, and the LAPD needed officers who were assertive.
He was too passive.
For the LAPD.
Oh, for the LAPD. Do you beat up people
before
or after they've done something wrong? After? We can't have those kind of pussies on our force.
Here's an innocent black person. What do you do?
Yeah.
I leave him alone.
Hold
Get out of here, sir.
Yeah.
You're not fit.
Can we take that question back? What do you mean by innocent?
Hey, they pick on innocent white
Unarmed.
people, too, just so you know.
Okay, that's more
Which
that's
is
more
not
like
the same thing, but I meant unarmed.
They pick on innocent white people, too, just so you know.
I've never heard of innocent.
do.
No one's innocent. No, guys, no one's innocent.
Oh,
What
wow.
do you mean?
Who do you
We're
work
all,
for?
y'all have original sin. You all deserve to go to jail.
Oh,
Every single one of you.
That's why I love religious people. They're so rational and
do?
smart.
I
wore-
just be
you
tweeting
wore that-
stuff sometimes.
You wore that tank top.
Aw.
That's against the law? That's an MTV shirt. That's cool.
Heartbroken.
MTV.
John quit the water business and entered the restaurant management program at Jack in the Box.
Whoa!
I was just about to say he's a jack of all trades, master of none, right? As you were about
A
to say.
Jack in the Box of all trades.
But soon he left
Master
for a
of the
job
double
at KFC.
cheeseburger.
Are you
Really?
serious?
Yeah, he's like, fuck management at Jack in the Box. I'm going up KFC.
That's not
They
up.
do have better mac and cheese there. I'm just saying. If you
Yeah,
ever
but
had
the breakfast sandwich
KFC.
at Jack in the Box is pretty on point.
Despite his success in the fake chicken
I'll have
business,
to go for fried chicken. I'm sorry.
Fake chicken?
he quit that job and reapplied for the LA Fire Department. He was accepted and sent to the Fire Academy,
Well,
where he failed his first written
I was about
test.
to say, don't they have to examine him again? And
Is
he
this thing a
failed.
vagina or not? And he's like, I don't know. It looks like Massachusetts, right? Like, all right, let him in.
He's like, map of Italy didn't work. Maybe I'll say Russia?
yeah.
Damn, what other country could this be?
The psychologist is like, it's a fucking beaver. Look at it.
What other country could this be?
It's a beaver.
It's a country. Just notice, take the last off of that.
Yeah,
All right.
take the tree off and just, you got it. You're so close. We want you to work here. You're so close.
He failed his written test and 2 rope and ladder exams. He doubled his efforts and failed again.
Jesus.
So John did what many do when they fail in Los Angeles.
Can we
and
change his name? It's making me depressed.
They start doing comedy?
He moved to Glendale.
Are you serious?
He moved to Glendale.
Jesus, I've lived in Glendale.
I
I'm
know.
a John that's lived in Glendale. This is
Yeah, but
that
you,
where-
but you moved back.
That's right.
I
moved
just
back.
pictured him like, who was it? Like a Laverne and Shirley, or who like packed up their bags and like took a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
And they got all their suitcases and they get in their car and it says Glendale or bust on
Oh,
the back
yeah.
of their car.
That's Laverne and Shirley.
And it just
the
goes
or bust.
20.
Or is it or is it Perfect Strangers that had the or bust?
It happens a lot.
A lot. It happens a lot. It's a cliche.
Yeah,
thing
but
we
I'm
do.
picturing, but to go to
Thelma and
Glendale is
Louise
pretty
busted. I mean, more like
Got busted.
Brad Pitt busted in that one, but
Was that a Jizz reference?
yeah, it was.
I think it
Sorry,
was.
Mom.
Low key.
Sorry,
Why
Mom.
not? Why not keep up tradition?
The Glendale Fire Department had some of the lowest pay in the area, but it also came with lower standards.
Bro, put the fire out, bro. The Mercedes, it's burning. Bro.
My eyebrow's on fire.
I
Please
was
help.
just about to say, I
You
feel
guys
like
went
it was
straight
just
to
a lot
eyebrow?
of the fires were accidental, like hair,
When
like
I
arm
lived-
hair.
When I lived in Glendale, dude, there was a car that exploded outside my apartment, like that someone like blew up. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in Glendale, and I lived in what was called a quote. I'm doing quote marks. Good neighborhood, and still there's a lot of like mobster kind of weird shit going on in that city. But there was the Americana.
This time, he aced the written exam, and on March 1st, 1974, John Orr graduated from the Glendale Fire Academy.
Look at that. On his 3 times a charm? Was
Yeah.
that the 3rd time?
So how many years is this from when he first got out of the military?
He got out of the military in 1971.
Okay, so like 3 years
3
later.
years?
So it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
A lot's
I felt
happened in
bad
those
for
3
him, but then
years.
I'm like, he did fine. It's a few years.
By February 75, John Orr was no longer a probationary rookie. He was a
Ooh.
full-fledged member of the Glendale Fire Department. To celebrate, he grew a mustache.
That's yep.
a lot of
On
firemen.
his forehead, from one eyebrow to the other. To
Because
fit
it's-
in
because
more.
it's contagious
That's
there.
right. He just smokes a vaporizer.
hair.
Yeah.
My mustache is
You catch it?
double-decker. Two-level mustache.
2 level?
Some people catch feelings. I catch eyebrow. Bro!
Okay, now
Bored
you sound
at
like
home, John took a part-time job at 7-Eleven.
Wait, what? He was bored?
He was bored at home. He didn't
his
like his
spare
wife
time?
very much.
I don't get that. If you make a living and you're like, I'm bored, I'm like, Go out for ice cream.
Yeah,
on
get a
bicycle.
hobby.
Get a bicycle. Go. There's like a people that you can
Get a mistress, anything.
do what Peter John
Well,
Shefsky
hold
did.
on.
Oh.
He took a part-time job at 7-Eleven, and we're going
And
to
then
start
fucked someone, and then-
shacking up with some random lady.
Was he married?
Yes, he was still married to
Oh, yeah.
Jody.
But you
The
can't
woman
have a
that
kid.
cleans
You
the
can't
slushy
turn
machine.
down those 7-Eleven girls. I've
No.
been trying to tell people for years.
Nah,
No,
it's
the
something
7-Eleven
in the
girls and the
air.
7-Eleven pizza, the two things you can't turn
Yeah,
down.
No.
yeah. You got the slushies, you got the pizza,
Well,
you
they're
got
both
the
such great
pancake
deals.
rollers.
The magazine rack.
Yeah,
with
you
all the
can't help
lowrider
but fall in
magazines.
love under that fluorescent lighting.
I mean,
There's
the
something about
prices are
That
just, you
lighting
can't
is
beat them.
terrifying, actually.
Yeah.
The prices are good.
$3.99 for a full pizza.
It's a perfect storm
or
to fall in love.
a mistress.
Yeah, but what's in
Yeah,
the
that's a
pizza?
great
It's like
price.
a Warsaw recipe with fucking sawdust. All right.
It was at 7-Eleven where he developed a knack for spotting shoplifters.
What?
It started simple.
I'm actually jealous of all of his talents.
Yeah, and his discounts he probably gets,
He started out shooting skunks,
That's fucked up.
then he graduated to Army firefighter,
Military
Air
Force firefighter.
Where he
Air
put
Force
out 3
firefighter.
fires.
Don't forget about Jack in the Box, KFC.
Yep, that's right. All the hookups.
Then Glendale firefighter.
Yep.
Now he's 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Now he's
Is he-
spotting.
Is he pudgy? I mean, you can't work at all those places and not just be a fat piece of shit, right? I mean, you can't.
You can't be a firefighter and be fat.
You know
though.
what?
You got to
You know
be in
what?
shape.
Here's
They
what
do
I
it physical.
That's true.
He looks like an angry version of Ken Bone from the election debates.
Oh, so he is a chunky
He
monkey.
was fat?
Yeah.
He's got a little extra going on.
I'm not going
Yeah,
to trust Glendale's fire
anytime I've
department.
ever worked at any place where they had that much food, I was like, I'm not going to get overloaded with food here. I always
Now, I
had
don't
to
know
quit
what he
'cause I
looked
got
like
fat.
at this time, but the pictures
Oh,
I've seen of him
may have been later in life.
were a little bit later in life.
Yeah.
But they are definitely him looking like he looks like if Ken Bone got cast in a hardened cop movie. Like if Ken Bone was in Lethal
Yeah.
Weapon, that's
Yeah.
what he looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I like that. That actually sounds pretty interesting. Let's write that. Okay.
It started simple. He noticed kids acting too cool in the store, and he busted them for stealing candy.
Bitch, I saw what you was doing.
Drop them Skittles, boy.
I wasn't going to steal. I was just.
I see what's on your mind.
No, but I was just holding these.
Turn out your pockets.
I'm going to turn you
A
out.
pencil. Did you get that from here?
That was my own pencil, dude. Please.
A note from your mother. Did you steal that too?
Please don't call my mom. Please don't call my mom.
I'm definitely calling your
Mom shows up
Dude, I'm calling your mom.
after she abandoned him 10 years before. Boy, I told you to put down them Skittles.
I'm going to call your
Like,
mom so hard.
is that you? And then she smacks him. Sorry, Mom. That's another sorry, Mom.
John had an instinct for it, which paid off one day in 1976 at Eagle Rock Plaza.
When he caught someone stealing.
John saw a guy running
Citizen's
for
arrest?
his car with an armful of suits. He caught the thief and turned him into the cops.
Oh,
He
John's a good
tackled
guy.
him?
John's a good
An
guy.
armful. What a weird thing to steal. Like an
Suits?
armful of suits?
It's like, how do you even unload the suits if you had a bunch, right?
Do you know how much an armful of suits goes on the black market these days?
$30?
Easily.
No, actually. $30.
No, because like when you see how much people get for what they steal, you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that's why like a lot of times it's drug people. You're just like, they're not getting that much money. They risk a ton of trouble to get like $50.
To get not much.
like something.
You're right. I should have more sympathy.
That's
for
why you
these
should
towards
always
these
buy
people.
your subwoofers at the flea market because
I
they
get it.
fell off a truck somewhere.
I get it from those guys that drive by when I'm about to walk into like a restaurant or something. And they're like, and they pull up in an SUV and they go, like, "Would you like a home entertainment system? We have one." That's where I get my stuff from.
Nice.
It's reputable.
This looks legal.
Yeah.
Sure.
He asked the mall security about getting a job, but they
Why is he
only hired
always-
off-duty cops. Later that same day, he busted an old man for stealing tools from Sears.
Is this George Zimmerman?
Why do you
Yeah,
do
this
you
is
need
him.
Why
This is
why
so
does
weird.
he
This is
need a
him.
job if he's a firefighter? Don't they pay great? I thought firefighting was a great job.
Well,
Great.
hold on.
Oh.
Also, he's in Glendale Fire, which is the lowest paying one in the city.
Oh, okay.
Glendale is,
Yeah.
because they have the least amount of fires?
We can pay you in
Who knows,
shawarma.
Yeah.
That's all I have. And we
Well,
have to cook
no,
the shawarma
They-
on the fire
they
that we're
also
putting
pay-
out, so you have to work fast.
They pay in live chicken sometimes, too. Like live and cooked chicken.
That's
so.
a real pain. I got to pluck these things? Fuck. Well, it's
Oh, God.
the only place that'll hire me. It's like that shitty road gig. Like, I had to take it. I had to take it.
The security boss for Sears hired him on the spot.
On the spot. You know what? You look like... Yeah, you're hired.
It's Sears.
Mhm.
Okay.
In his first few months at Sears, he caught 50 shoplifters, 2 car burglars, and a cheating employee. He
What do you mean
busted
cheating
A cheating
employee?
employee?
They
Like
all-
someone
all
employee that was
tested-
stealing?
it was someone who was selling like goods marked down to his friends and like slipping. He was basically like stealing from the company.
That's
He's
illegal?
a snitch.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do at a job, is hook your friends up with the deals.
John busted.
Right, he's a snitch.
He also busted one shoplifting team and recovered $30,000 worth of property.
Damn. I got to get on one of these teams.
This guy does have a knack for this.
He wasn't just good at it; he loved it
Yeah, no, I'm going to say it sounds like
because
this is his passion.
because some of the thieves were dangerous. His bosses helped him get a concealed weapons permit, one of only 6 in the city of Glendale. He started hanging out in police-friendly bars and soon getting a reputation as a cop wannabe.
That's a pretty...
Which-
My grandfather did something like that. My grandfather was a volunteer cop who illegally would carry a gun on him. It's like, you're not going to get in... You're not doing anything where you should have a gun.
So this answers your question, though, of why he's like trying to get this security job, because really what he wants to be is high action. He wants to be Dirty Harry.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
wants
used
to be
want
like
that too. Who
a
doesn't?
vigilante, like a...
No, he wants to be a cop.
Oh, an actual cop. He doesn't want to be a
He starts hanging out in
loose cannon.
He's hanging out in cop bars and trying to like do cop speak.
I didn't even know there were cop bars, by the way. I'm just saying.
Yeah, what's that?
It's called The Precinct. It's on Glendale Boulevard. It's hot, dude. Tuesdays. Taco Tuesdays at The Precinct. Actually, now it's a gay bar. Still the same name.
He convinced the fire department to put him on the hill patrol where he was more ready for action.
He fights fires with guns.
Is there a conflict of interest if you're a fireman and a police officer?
No.
You literally can't be both.
No, you can't?
You specifically cannot be both of those.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
how can
Now,
you?
what they will do is send a cop to join a fire squad to do, like, you'll see some stuff happen. So, like, they will trade people back and forth for specific types of cases or task forces, but you can't be a cop and a firefighter.
Yeah, I don't think
Too many
I don't
bumper
see how you
stickers.
could.
Too many bumper stickers.
True. Soon after, he married his friend from 7-Eleven.
What happened to his
What a
original?
wife.
He divorced her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's,
Sorry, I just
that
kinda
sounds
skipped
pretty.
that.
That sounds pretty normal, right? Standard.
But that marriage didn't last long. He and a friend
he
from
caught her shoplifting.
Yeah.
His heart.
He fell in love with a woman at Circle K. That's what he does. He just falls in love with bitches at convenience
He
stores.
puts cuffs on. He's like, "You stole."
You know what's great about this podcast is somehow how much I found out how much of like profilers our guests are for how often you guys kind of see what's coming without even knowing what's coming.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But the marriage didn't last long. He and a friend from the fire department, Don Yeager,
Started hooking up.
No.
Oh,
Took
well, I
to-
guess it's just our
Don
guess.
Yeager, that's a man?
Yep.
Yeah.
They took to
Not
long.
Dawn. Don.
No, Don.
Don.
Not Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn. D-A-W-N.
Dawn, you got it going
not Dawn,
on
yeah.
with that thing of yours.
He and Don took
Dawn.
long hunting trips that would often divert to a hot spring spa surrounded by, as John described it, flora, fauna, and females.
This guy sounds cool.
The-
It's another John I'd hang
The
out with.
trifecta.
He
Right.
divorced his second wife and moved into a place near the fire station and his favorite bar.
The precinct.
It's not really called that, but yeah.
I know.
People are going to
I'm
start looking for it.
I know.
I Googled the precinct.
Then he started
Those
doing
crime
sex
boys
at
are
the
liars.
J-spot.
Not black people.
He started doing sex at the J-spot?
He said he started doing sex.
Oh,
Yeah.
this story's getting hot.
No.
We need more sex in these stories.
Yeah.
And described in detail.
I'll do a sex one soon. Don't you worry.
Please. Not like a gross, mean sex one, like a fun sex one where the criminals are like kind of cool. They're not like sexual.
They'd have like orgies, not like
Yeah.
rapists.
Yeah. Rich is all reading it. He's like, as he penetrated. I'm like, I don't think I want to watch
this
the
is
rape
not
video.
fun.
Thank you.
John
8
again
millimeter.
grew
Nicolas
bored.
Cage. What?
John again grew bored with his life.
John Gren?
John again grew bored
So
with
this
his
guy
life.
is an adrenaline
You know what?
motherfucking junkie.
That's what he's all about.
He needs to-
I want to say something, but
Say something.
I just want to say that's a red flag
Mhm.
of a sociopath and a psychopath.
He gets bored all the
They
time?
get bored easily, and they have to continue to change to get stimulated.
Every comedian is a sociopath.
Yeah, that's
probably.
it. Are we all-
Probably.
Are we all
A
nuts?
lot of them. I'm not. I don't think you guys are.
I'm pretty bored, though.
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna
joking.
leave,
I'm just
actually.
joking. I'm just joking.
I
I'm
have
not bored.
another podcast I have to do right now.
I'm not bored. Oh, she got bored at this podcast. Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna go come in the
that's good.
dumpster and light it on fire. See what happens.
You block my path by jizzing in front of me in
Yeah.
a wall of fire.
Yeah, like a dragon breathing fire, but it's his
That
dick.
would be the worst superpower to have. You're the Human Torch, but it only comes from your dick. You're like, so I can save the city, but only if I indecently expose myself.
Yeah.
And
Haven't
it
got a
doesn't
blowjob
burn
from-
when it comes out. I feel like it would have to.
No, it's like a
Ooh,
dragon. Your body can handle it.
Ooh, good point.
Your body gets immune to it. All right.
But you'd never get good blowjobs.
John spent his free time rewriting the fire
Give a
department.
disclaimer
Pre
first.
comes just like a little
Just
steam.
a disclaimer.
Oh,
Can
for
you
the
please
love of
sign
God,
this
that
first?
sounds terrible.
I might burn your face off
Couple embers,
if you're really good.
if you're really good. I'm gonna give you this mask, and basically, it's flame retardant. I've coated the inside with coconut oil, so it has like all right flavor for you. I apologize. I'm about to shoot fire.
Sorry.
Bored John spent his free
My hair
time.
catches on fire. I'm sorry, baby. I caught the Michael Jackson. I can't
I'm
help
gonna say,
it.
don't let any bitches with Jerry curls
Yeah.
give you a blowjob.
Are there a lot of Jerry curl girls sucking penis?
I've been trying to bring back the Jerry curl for 6 years.
I'm proud of you.
I just put it in my
I
pubes.
support you.
It's great. Just to let yourself glow, baby. Feel so silky smooth. Just to let it shine through. Just to let yourself glow.
Coming to America?
I think we peaked the
Coming to America?
the volume
levels?
there. Peaked the levels there pretty hard.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I think
guys.
you peaked pretty
I'm not
hard.
the justice down. I peaked, but that was just because I was looking at
I
you.
smell
in the
something
eyes.
burning. It smells like the bottom of the table.
The bottom of the tablecloth's on fire.
Oh my God, Rich, your cum's burning everything.
These were my best jeans.
Sorry,
it was
Mom.
those awesome vocals we just laid out
That's
for him.
right.
John spent his free time rewriting the fire department procedural manual.
Like editing it?
Just rewriting from scratch. He's like, this shit sucks. And now, by the way, everyone else was like, you're such a douchebag and a nerd. Like, no one else liked him. Which is kind of a theme on this show where someone's like, I'm really obsessed with something that no one else likes. Everyone else hates you.
Yeah.
John planned stakeouts to bust kids for pulling fire alarms and interrogated other children over small trash can fires.
Oh,
He started with his penis. No.
She's added a lot of elements to this story.
Yeah.
Candice has definitely made this kind of a supernatural story.
You welcome.
You welcome.
You welcome.
How about him? Is he welcome too?
He welcome.
Yeah. John needed more. So when Glendale planned to hire a full-time arson investigator, he applied immediately and was named temporarily to the post while the city went through its hiring process. It might have helped that he was the only applicant. They're like, okay, we're going to keep on interviewing people, but you can just have the job for now. But please don't talk about the manual. I don't want to talk about the manual anymore. Yes, I know you wrote it better, but no one likes it.
We're not going to use this.
Who wrote it better? That's the meme.
Who wrote it better?
It's got the fire manual side by
The old
side.
manual versus
I love memes.
the revised manual.
John soon made the news for his first big bust that had nothing to do with fire. While on fire patrol, he witnessed a pair of vatos committing a burglary and gave chase in his patrol truck. He reported to dispatch, who asked if he, a fireman, was in pursuit. No, he answered. I'm not in pursuit. I'm just following real fast.
That's a pretty funny answer. That's something I'd probably say too.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's pursuit. They're like, no. Depends on the words.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, dispatch
Semantics.
heard when he popped on his siren. Quote, "We'll advise Glendale PD that you're not in pursuit. Just following real fast." Right.
That's what they quoted?
Yeah, that's what they said
hilarious.
back.
So this guy, no one takes this guy seriously.
No one
No
likes him.
Fire Marshal Bill.
How can he? Like,
He busts a lot of people. If you were in the crime stopping world, you'd be like, hey, this guy
He got a lot of kids for pulling fire alarms. He
Yeah.
stopped at least 3 trash can fires.
Yeah,
like, he
but-
is a
He
hero.
bought me a
he's
fireball at the
doing
precinct
it
bar.
He
on
married
his
a girl from
own.
7-Eleven.
he's doing it on his
Take her off
own,
the
and
market.
that's where the lack of respect comes in, right? Like,
Well,
you
he's
have
also
to,
not a cop. He's
right. He's doing it
his
on his
job
own.
is to
He's
stop
like
brush fires and to give
Right.
people citations for violations.
But he's like, yo, these criminals on fire. You know what I'm saying? I got to get them.
In the end, he caught the burglars.
Whoa.
The fire marshal gave him 30 merit points for the bust, but deducted 50 because he was carrying 2 pistols in his fire department vehicle.
They made him do math, huh? They're like, so you're negative 20 now.
And they were they registered?
Yes, but he's not allowed to carry guns in a fire department vehicle. That's not what they do.
Yeah, you don't put fires out with guns, son.
You guys remind me. I'm gonna put a message in my phone to remind me to take my guns out of my fire department vehicle.
Seriously, you should already have done that.
He just runs up to a fire. He's like, "Freeze! Don't move!" Pop, 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 pop.
He tries
Well,
to-
it was coming forward. It was
Tried
coming towards
to
me.
shoot a fire.
I already made that joke, you asshole.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
but-
Yeah, you go to the fire, you're like, bam, bam. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
Nah, man.
I acted it out though. You just said the concept.
That's
Yeah.
true. You earned it.
Sorry.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Some of the other firefighters found his dedication to be a bit weird.
Yeah.
Even when off duty, he would show up to nearly every fire.
Oh, God. This guy's not even just weird. I
Off
like
duty,
weird.
he
He's
would
more
show
annoying
up?
than weird. Yeah.
He
Dude,
fancied
go
him-
home.
He fancied himself an arson profiler.
Don't you masturbate or something like that? Go cook something in a crock pot. Like, get the fuck away from us.
I'm an awesome
I
connoisseur, if you will.
am fairly sure he masturbates, and it's going to get good.
Oh, Lord.
He fancied himself
It's
an
gonna get
arson
good.
profiler, which was important in Southern California, where 80% of brush fires were set deliberately. He developed an eye for arson, especially for finding the lookout spots where an arsonist would watch the fire. Around this time, he found his first incendiary device, a cigarette, lit, then fastened to a book of matches with a rubber band. A popular setup as a cigarette creates a delay that allows the arsonist to get clear.
Oh, nice. Make note of that one, right, guys?
I don't know, write that one down.
I don't think we should. Yeah, we should take that.
Have there been any forest fires that have been started by the old prank Hotfoot, where someone's sleeping, taking a nap, and then someone just lights a match and sticks it between their toes?
I'm not
No.
sure.
You remember that from cartoons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People really did that, huh? It's like
It's got cartoons.
But it's gotta
So
be-
I'm like,
no,
People also did that.
but
But I feel
cartoons
like-
imitate life, and life imitates
it's called.
cartoons.
I love old school pranks, and I researched that one. That one's called the Hotfoot.
That's a hobo.
Hotfoot.
That's a hobo prank right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Right.
do a similar prank. That's where I come on someone's foot.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom. Rich had to come on someone's
Damn
foot.
you, old flame dick Slaton.
Yeah.
Athlete's foot. No, my foot's really on fire.
And then they're just waving their finger.
Flame Dick Slaton.
Flaming Dick Slaton. Shame on you.
Oh my God.
Can you please change your Twitter handle to that?
Flame
please?
Dick Slaton?
At least for until this comes out.
You know what? I think that's totally fair. My Twitter handle's been terrible for a long time anyway, so it's good.
That's MMA comic?
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of it one of these days when someone gives a shit about the fact that I actually have @Rich Slaton.
Hilarious.
In the early 80s, he caught his first serial arsonist. Someone was setting fires at a convalescent home.
What?
It didn't take long for him to figure out that they were all visible from a certain cottage. The occupant, a crazy old lady, admitted to it and was transferred to a mental institution. His second bust came later that week. A strung-out dude who torched a stolen van. John Orr's career as an arson investigator was off to a hot start.
Oh, you are so excited.
I put hot start in capital letters in my...
I bet you did.
Yeah.
Yo, that investigator's lit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he's torching these cases, bruh. But...
He's a flamer, though. I saw him at the precinct hooking up with a cop dude. I just wanted to throw a flamer pun in there. Right.
I get that.
Right.
I'm with you.
You get that a lot, don't you?
Then he busted someone for a code violation. That someone turned out to be on the city planning commission. When his superiors told him to back off, he flipped his shit, withdrew his application as arson investigator, and took a few days off.
It's getting real.
At the same time, the number of arsons in the area jumped dramatically. The fire chief...
Candice and I are both working this case, and we're starting to notice a couple things here. But go on.
The fire chief called John into his office and made him an offer. Not only did he want John to take the job as arson investigator, he would also have full authority as a peace officer.
What's a peace officer?
Like a cop.
Essentially like a cop.
Put the match down! And he could pull out a weapon. He could draw a weapon. He could arrest you. Peace officer.
But
he can shoot you for having a Bic.
A Bic lighter or a razor?
Either one. Either one. They're both dangerous weapons.
That's true, but...
What about a Lady Gillette?
He was going to shave my eyebrow. Pop, pop, pop.
Lady Gillette. Wasn't that one of the royal family? And please welcome...
Wait, so a peace officer is no different than a regular police officer?
It's a nice term for police officer.
Okay.
Like instead of being like, he's a ward officer, he's a peace officer. He's keeping the peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
John took the job and got married a third time.
Oh, yeah, I got to get that girl.
Yeah, just wanted to tell you that he just keeps getting married to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
By 1983, at the same time that John's writings on training burns and arsonist profiles were appearing in American Fire Journal, his partner...
That he decided to rewrite 5 months
Published by John.
His partner, a tough cop named Dennis Wilson, gave this quote to the local paper.
I think my partner's an arson. Help! No one believes me. He's crazy. He doesn't even take holidays off. Everything keeps getting set on fire.
He's at every fire.
He's the first one at the scene.
He rubs himself all the time. I'm in the car with him. I tell him to stop. He just looks at me.
I caught him masturbating. He shot fire out of his penis. Please, no one believes me. And then as they pan away, as they pull back with the camera, you see that he's in a straitjacket and no one's listening to him.
No one's listening
to him.
Quote,
John still has to work out his wannabe image. He's in there now digging around a fire scene wearing a gun. What's he need a pistol for? It's a fire scene, and we're the only ones around.
We already covered
this. I think this is my grandpa, actually, now that you're talking about it. Like, my grandfather had guns on him for stuff. I was like, you don't need a gun right now.
Fire shooter!
Yeah. Freeze! You're under arrest! And then it shows the fire. Yeah, it's like, I said freeze! He's got a gun! And then he shoots the fire.
What if he actually was the first man that was able to put out fires with bullets?
Can fires be black?
Hey,
That's
Jonathan, it's Grandpa Shefsky. I want to go do something with me today. We're gonna go to the beach. I have metal detectors, and we're gonna go search for like lost rings and watches and things like that at the beach. Does that sound fun, boy?
That sounds like a great idea, Grandpa. Let's do it.
Cool. Will you just grab my 45 off the table real quick?
Yeah. Why?
Well, just in case we have to shoot the watches.
Grandpa, I don't think we have to shoot anything. We're going to the beach.
That's what you think.
But
the beach is a dangerous place.
It might be dangerous, like for like drowning and whatnot. But you don't need a gun.
Shoot the water.
Water shooter.
Everybody, look out. Yeah, you got to do your water. Everybody, look out!
Water shooter!
Get out of the way!
Water shooter!
When that water comes to take you away!
Water shooter!
I'm gonna save the day!
Water shooter.
Stop water! That's my grandson!
And that's how the logo for the show is by the bullet holes, but in water. It's all... makes a W. And you have to wait the whole time while it spells out water shooter.
And then a dead... like seal floats by.
Yeah, like a fish and like a, yeah.
He accidentally shot.
And at the very end, a seagull kind of flies by and it goes, and then it falls.
John's
Water
partnership,
shooter is shot and filmed in front of a live studio audience,
who were also shot.
who were all shot.
Water shooter.
John's partnership was much like his marriages,
It sucked, and he kept fucking other partners.
except he couldn't divorce his partner.
Okay, that was
So he
close.
divorced his third wife instead and moved into a friend's guest house in Chevy Chase Canyon.
I can't divorce my partners. I'll divorce my wife.
Yeah, it's like, listen, baby, it's not you. I had to divorce
Tim,
somebody.
but I gotta get out of this.
I'm a bored sociopath, baby. I gotta divorce somebody, and I can't divorce these fires. You know what I'm saying, girl?
October 10th,
October 10th,
1984.
20 days from Halloween.
21.
21 days. Listen,
Idiot.
I didn't say I was a calendar guy.
Idiot.
I might be a model, but I'm not a calendar
October
guy.
10th, 1984, a massive fire broke out at Olay's Home Center, a hardware store in South Pasadena,
Olay.
They're not around anymore, obviously.
killing 4 people, including a 2-year-old named Matthew.
Thanks for telling us his name and really making it personal. Thanks.
Yeah, I had to make it personal. You'll see.
If he had a gun,
Matthew,
You will see why I had to tell you the
he
name
could have
Matthew.
shot that fire.
He had a biblical name, little
It's
Matthew.
going to arm our 2-year-olds so they can shoot fires and defend themselves.
That's what they got to do.
What
with
else
the
are you
schools.
gonna do?
If you want to keep people safe, you've got to arm the
You
kids.
got to give these kids guns.
That's my
I've been
campaign.
saying that.
The Arm the Kids campaign.
Yeah.
Arm these kids.
John fought with the L.A. County Sheriff.
Physically, like in a ring.
Argued. They had deemed the fire as accidental that afternoon before he had a chance to conduct a thorough investigation. He told his partner, Wilson, that he suspected it was arson.
What if Wilson was a volleyball?
That's the fucking. That's the real. They never.
Volleyball hit.
For all the scenes with Wilson, they just show him talking, but they don't. And then they finally cut to like, is the ball from that movie with Tom Hanks? Oh my god!
In a cop uniform.
But the cop told John to back off the case as it was already settled.
Back off, John.
The
Back
next
off.
year, John finally dumped his partner, who was sent back to the LAPD. But he also married Wanda, his 4th wife.
Wanda.
Yeah.
Wanda.
Is she black?
Probably not. I'm just going to guess that a guy with a mustache and a gun, a white guy with a
probably
gun in 1984,
Yeah.
probably didn't marry a black woman.
Probably
What do you
wasn't
mean?
fond of the
That's
blacks.
totally possible. And
Just
her
my-
name was Wanda, so yes, she's black.
Just my guess.
Wanda.
I'm going to guess that she was Korean. That's what I'm going to go
Wanda?
with. Yeah. Wanda the Korean.
Yeah.
That's actually her full name.
Wanda the Korean.
John attended the California Conference of Arson Investigators in Fresno in 1987. There were 242 professional fire stoppers in town, which makes it very strange that a display of sleeping bags was set on fire at a local drugstore. The sprinklers kicked in, the damage contained, but it was a definite arson.
He couldn't help himself.
Someone reported
couldn't.
seeing a
They had
deaf
sleeping
mute
bags.
near the display. Most people brush it off.
How do you
deaf
know
mute.
you see a deaf mute?
Well, you
Well,
just watch them go like this.
they
You
don't
go,
like-
you go, hey, say something, and then they don't.
And
do
they don't
anything.
respond.
Yeah, they're a deaf mute.
Well, that would just mean that they were deaf.
No, that just means that's how you know that most women on the street are deaf mutes, because you go like, hey, nice
And they-
legs,
and they
it's
don't
like they don't respond. You're like,
Yeah, they
oh,
must be deaf and mute.
Deaf mute,
That's an
obviously.
Interesting statistic that you've
Or a
discovered.
cunt.
Yeah,
Those are the only two
those
options.
are the two possibilities.
Just so
Either
our
she's got a
listeners
disability.
Hey, nice legs, are you deaf or are you a cunt?
Well, the first time that a woman was called cunt on the show was from a woman, so don't blame us. The second time was Rich. Okay, go on.
No, I asked a question. I didn't
That's
call
true.
anyone.
That's
that.
true. And you just
Are
did an
you
act
a-
out. Well, you can't blame us in this country for doing an act
Come
out
on.
when we're
That's a good point.
joking.
These are hypothetical cunts we're talking about
Hypothetical
right now.
cunts, which is the name of a sketch group I'm working with. Please welcome to the stage, Hypothetical Cunts.
Most
That's
people.
actually a really good name for a sketch group.
That's
Or band.
fantastic.
Huh?
Or band.
Or a band.
Yeah, but I like
Either
sketch
way.
groups.
It's
I'm a
better.
comedian.
Yeah.
Improv group.
Sketch group.
Improv group.
Most
That's right.
people brushed it off until 2 days later when a massive fire gutted a fabric store across the street from the drugstore.
While the convention is still going on?
Investigators found the source, a pile of highly flammable styrofoam beanbag pellets set on fire by an incendiary delay device.
I don't like how he's burning sleeping bags
A
and all these
cigarette-
You're assuming. We haven't got to that part of the
all
story.
these recreational napping devices that are just
You're assuming
going
you're
away.
assuming
You're
a lot.
assuming. You're
A
assuming.
cigarette attached to a book of matches by a rubber band was the device. Witnesses reported a customer had been loitering in the area. White male, around 60 years old, 6'6", 250 pounds, with a white beard, blue captain's hat, and a bright yellow raincoat.
Santa?
Yes.
sounds like
Wait, no, is that Gordon's fisherman?
I was just going to say, that sounds more like a fisherman.
Just a Gordon's fisherman.
Yeah, that's right. I'll set everything on fire.
Did they smell sea bass?
So just so you know, he's
In the
not
area.
6'6". John Orr is not.
John Orr is not.
6'6". He's much
But he
shorter
worked
than
with a motherfucker who is.
that. Later
Yeah.
that day,
Wilson, the volleyball.
someone discovered a similar device at another nearby fabric store, but it didn't catch. The next day, after that, another fire broke out at Surplus City in a display of sleeping bags. Less than an hour later, a display of pillows went up in flames at the Family Bargain Center.
Wait, like, did the Lakers lose? Was this just like a riot?
Yes.
She's going riot on us, folks. I knew that was going to happen there.
That afternoon, another fire, this time at a craft store south of Fresno in the city of Bakersfield.
I didn't even know they had this many of those kind of stores. That's
Then
what
another
news to me.
fabric store in Bakersfield.
Joann's Fabrics. Lit.
Gone.
All the fires set with the same device: the cigarette, the matches, and the rubber band. But at each location, the witnesses described different-looking men. At one location was the deaf mute. Another, a fat cowboy. Another had the giant in the yellow raincoat.
I want to see these guys together setting fires.
They didn't just have a serial
Right?
arsonist on their hands. They had a supervillain.
A supervillain or a team.
Or a team. That's also
His
possible.
last name was Orr as well, so you confused me right there. I just
Or
Or a
John?
team.
a team.
John? Oh.
But the culprit made one mistake.
What?
He left a fingerprint on one of the devices.
Ooh.
If the investigators could find their man, they could tie him to the crimes. Someone cracked a joke that the arsonist must have really hated arson investigators.
Investors?
Arson
I got a lot of
investors.
money riding on this arson.
On this fire?
I'm a venture capitalist, and
We will,
this fire is
we
gonna
will
be- it's gonna
actually
make us
one day
rich.
do an arson story that is you could call it the arson investor.
Okay.
That's a story we will do one day.
Okay, cool. I like how it gives me heads up. I don't
yeah.
know these stories. He surprises me, too.
That's great.
Yeah.
We're both guests on my show.
The element of surprise.
Someone cracked the joke that the arsonist must have really hated arson investigators, but that led the local
Because he left the
investigator.
graffiti.
That said,
I hate
Yeah.
y'all, arson investigators.
Why is this a swastika made of fire? But that led local investigator Marvin Casey to a hunch. He got a hold of the roster from the conference. From there, he whittled down the 242-person list to 55 names. 55 people who attended the conference, then drove home alone, heading south.
wait.
In the same car?
Each
they
one-
were
yeah.
Mexicans.
Wait a second.
Yes.
So he's picking people that attended the. So it's too much of a coincidence. I almost said
Yeah, he's like, this is a coincidence.
Coincidence?
Yeah, that's right.
That
I'm in
joke,
touch with some of our early
that
human
joke
roots.
made him go like, oh, wait a second, maybe it is an arson investigator. And he figured out, of the 242 people who were there, the 55 who were going to travel back down south again and who were alone and could have could have done something like this.
Okay. Because if they weren't alone, you'd be like, well, the guy who they were hanging out with would probably be like, hey,
Right.
fucking Tim's setting fires over here, guys. I
Right.
don't want to stop him.
But this list of 55 was too long, so Casey filed it away and waited.
That's what you got to do.
1989, 2 years later, arson investigators gathered for another conference, this time in Monterey. 2 days before it began, a fire broke out in a pile of pillows at a store in Morro Bay.
This guy
He
loves
keeps burning
setting pillows on fire.
napping devices.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, a big part of it is because
Tempur-Pedic,
what
it's
they're built
flammable.
of is super duper flammable.
Is Tempur-Pedic flammable?
I don't know about
Because it's on the
Tempur-Pedic.
space shuttle, so I'd be kind of...
I
Why
don't know
is
about
that?
Because all the foam and stuff is super flammable.
And are we allowed to rip the tags off mattresses now, or is
I don't-
that still a thing?
I don't think anyone's going to arrest you for
Not
it.
if John Orr has anything to say about it.
That's
Criminal.
right. That's right. Fire Marshal Bill shows up. Let me show you something!
2 days before it
Yeah,
began,
let's just say.
there's a fire in Morro Bay, 2 hours south of Monterey. The next day,
I love Morro
another
Bay.
set of pillows burst into flames 19 miles outside in the city of Salinas. The day after, 3 more fires in a Tuscadero, all of foam padding.
I love a Tuscadero, too.
Finally, a building was completely destroyed in San Luis Obispo.
I love San Luis Obispo.
I know, great town.
These people are burning up my places that I love.
Shout out Spike's Pub.
Right?
I've drank there a lot.
Madonna Inn. Great Sundays. They have a great Sunday.
I have never, ever gotten drunk and peed in that creek that they have that goes up and down the main street of town.
Well,
Never
I've
been to
never
any
done
This is
that.
being
places.
recorded, so it's good that you've never done
Yep.
that.
Marvin Casey heard the news.
It's a great
Old
name.
Marvin Casey.
This time he was sure his
I ain't
firebug
gay. I'm Casey. Go on.
This time he was sure his firebug was an arson investigator. He compared the 55 names from Bakersfield to the names in Monterey. The list was nailed down to 10 possible suspects, including
the Venn diagram that crossed over.
Mhm.
Ooh, yeah.
including John Orr.
But it's not John Orr. That's the twist of the story. John Orr is
Casey,
actually a
who
really
had
good guy.
taken some arson investigation classes from John, sent the fingerprints to the ATF.
Wait, he was teaching classes too?
Oh, John Orr had become the #1 expert on arson profiling in Southern California.
Did this
He's giving TED Talks
Yeah.
on arson.
He's wearing a headset.
makes
Yeah.
you wonder what other TED talkers are doing crazy shit.
You too can catch arsonists. You just have to do my plan. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Love fire. Hate people who set them. Shoot the fire a lot.
Shoot at the fire.
He's just looking,
Fire shooter!
standing in front of a mirror.
Sorry.
I'm going to get
Take
you.
video of it. That's my blast program. Believe, love, apprehend, shoot, take video. Also blast. I come fire. Okay.
And if all else fails.
Sorry, Mom.
John sent the fingerprints to the ATF and had them compared to the records from the fingerprint records with those 10 names. But it came back without a match. Another dead end.
Interesting.
So none of the 10 names, including John
match
Orr.
Was that a wordplay? Was that a match?
No, but now it is.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I didn't catch it at first.
You caught a wordplay that I didn't. That's just how good I am at wordplay. I just do it without intending.
And you
Strike.
didn't even know.
It's a match strike.
But just to know, none of these 10 names, including John Orr, match up with the fingerprint.
So the story does have a twist.
Big twist.
Keep going.
Meanwhile, back in L.A., John scored a 98% on his fire captain exam, the highest score among applicants.
Fucking nerd! You fucking nerd!
That vagina Rorschach didn't come back to haunt him.
Did you say vagina Rorschach? That's another hilarious name. He wears vagina Rorschach.
Maybe that's why he kept on divorcing his wives. He's like, I take her pants down, and it's just Lithuania.
Yeah, I can get turned on looking at that map for a pussy.
All I see is Belgium.
Yeah. I want to get
And
hard.
Lord knows I hate chocolate. I don't know why I
Is
made
that
him
a
into
clit or is
black
that Brussels?
I like Lithuania too. It's like I can't get hard trying to ram my cock into Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Yeah, I need a pussy that like looks like something else.
Yo, Somalia pussy bitch.
Somalia pussy bitch.
Yo, how was she? Ah, man, it was like Russia. So loose. It's so big.
USS, are you gonna come anytime soon? Not with that big old thing.
Dude, I'm so lucky I'm dating a Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, it's so tiny.
I'm more of a city map guy, so
Fair enough.
I'm just saying.
John was promoted and given a bump in salary. He bought a white Chevy Blazer and a hot tub.
White Chevy Blazer.
And a hot tub.
His, quote, profiles in arson.
In the Chevy Blazer?
Yes. It's
The
a Chevy.
hot tub was in the
It's a
backseat?
Pimp Ride Arson edition. And we know that you like to set a lot of fires, and afterwards you like to really
You
chill
like to
out.
party.
Yeah. We want to keep you warm all the time. Your match fingers are getting stressed out. We want to soak them in hot water. That's why I put this full-size jacuzzi in the back of your Blazer.
We built holsters all over in case you got to shoot a fire, or a lake, or a river, or an ocean, or a skunk, whatever.
There was a skunk.
Or if you just happen to see Italy, shoot that shit too. No. That's what I call a vagina. Okay, don't shoot the vaginas.
What do you?
We like those.
Some of us.
We like those vaginas. Also,
Wow.
Don't Shoot the Vaginas is a really good name for like an emo kind of band that has.
Don't
a lot
Shoot
of
the
syllables.
Vaginas?
Yeah, Don't Shoot the Vaginas. They're opening up for These Arms Are Snakes and Kings of Leon.
I
Don't
like
Shoot
it.
the Vaginas. No one liked that one. I quit. I'll see you guys later.
What? Hello?
I'm just joking. Hello? Is this thing on? It literally is
His
on.
articles, Profiles in Arson, were gaining regular publication in the American Fire Journal. There were several
Which he also rewrote.
There were several fires in and around Chevy Chase Canyon that year, but nothing he couldn't handle.
Is that named after the actor Chevy Chase?
Yes.
I've always wondered that.
Yes, it is.
He's
Wait.
from Glendale?
I don't know. They just said that's the canyon now.
No, because I used to live there, and I always thought like Chevy Chase. Like, there's got to be another Chevy Chase. Like,
There has to be. They wouldn't name a... Yeah, because there's a street.
Is Chevy Chase Armenian, or is he from Glendale?
I don't
or?
know. I've always wondered that, too, and I forgot about it because I haven't been to Glendale in a long time.
You
but
gotta
yeah,
go. They actually have some great restaurants
I've
there.
heard.
It's really great.
Yeah, like they do Hubade and...
Oh, Khubadis, so good. Oh.
Ugh.
There's a place called Moon Mart that just has like it's Iranian food. No, it's Iraqi food. Sorry, he's Iraqi, and it's so good. And the owner, this guy Don, is like one of the nicest guys ever.
It's this guy named John
Al-Iraqi,
Orr.
your world. Let's go.
It's this great owner. I think his name's John Orr. He's got dead eyes,
It's Don.
cherubic cheeks. He's just...
Great
the best.
mustache, too.
He used to be a boxer. He's such a cool dude.
There were several fires in and around Chevy Chase Canyon that year, but nothing he couldn't handle, especially after he fired yet another partner.
Fired him? Like,
Like,
Get the fuck out.
literally set him on fire?
Yes, with his dick.
you fired.
John was on a roll, so much so that in 1990 he decided to write a novel. More on that later.
Does this guy smoke a lot of pot? He seems.
No, he probably
needs to smoke a little
he
lot.
probably thinks that pot is evil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
he's one of those.
The
So
summer
how do you
of-
write novels, though? If you don't smoke weed.
well, he drinks a lot. That's the other way you write novels.
Yeah,
that's
that is
true.
true.
Stephen King wrote Cujo completely blacked out. He doesn't remember writing that novel at all.
Are you serious?
He's huge alcoholic, and he's like, I remember nothing about Cujo. I was in a blackout the entire time.
Dude, writing when you're drunk
How
is
do
amazing.
you... Is that like kind of like sleep writing?
That's just how badass he is. You have to be Stephen King.
No one else does that. Okay, I'm impressed. You don't have to keep going.
I filled out a profile edit on Instagram while I was drunk once. It went really well.
I drunk
I'm a
texted
writer.
somebody one time.
I biked home to the dorms once when I was blacked out drunk.
I made it up my parents' stairs once when my parents were out of town, blackout drunk, and then remembered the next day none of it. But people told me that it did.
The summer of 1990 rolled around and it was dry. On June 27th, a big brush fire caught in the hills. Fire trucks raced up to the blaze, but of course, John Orr beat them to the scene.
He's already there.
Already there.
Don't worry, boys. This one's covered.
He has an app on his phone.
Yeah.
Before they were even
John
iPhones.
pulled out his
else. Someone
shotgun
else.
and began shooting the fire.
That's not true.
Not
you
true
made
at
that
all.
up right
Yeah,
now.
it's
That's hilarious. I was like, he did? No, he didn't, you dumb bastard.
Firefighters could not believe he made it there first, but that was John. He helped for a moment, then drove away. Soon fires broke out all over the hills.
But luckily, John was always there first to make sure everything was under control.
One news reporter described it as resembling bombing in Vietnam. That's how bad the fires
That's a
were.
lot.
Yeah.
That sounds
The College
bad.
Hills fire became the biggest in recent history. But John's investigation methods were erratic. He revealed private details of the case to reporters. He drove around for hours taking in the scene rather than interviewing witnesses. And he tracked suspects that never showed up.
I mean, he's trying.
His new partner and old friend, Don Yeager, thought he was cracking under the pressure.
Yeager!
John told Yeager he had police canvassing the neighborhood. But when Yeager followed up, no one had been interviewed. John spent his time focused on lengthy reports about how the fire spread, but nothing on its origins. John complained to Yeager that he couldn't work on the arson part because he was bogged down with reports. But when Yeager confronted the fire marshal about it, the marshal told him that the College Hill arson investigation was John Orr's only assignment.
So he's telling different people different things. He's doing something shady.
In the end, the College Hills fire damaged or destroyed 66 homes.
Ooh.
But there was a silver lining.
Did anyone die?
The Glendale Fire Department, no death.
Oh, good.
The
Well,
Glendale Fire, I like how I shook my head in hopes that our listeners hear me answer your question.
Right.
yeah, it's odd. For those of you listening, Slaton shook his head. Okay, go on with your
But there
story.
was a silver lining. The Glendale Fire Department, which had been facing budget cuts, would now get an even bigger budget to combat and investigate fires. John, now with even more authority, went to the fire marshal and complained about Don Yeager's bad attitude. Having just been confronted by Yeager, the marshal agreed and John got rid of yet another partner. By winter of
So
1990...
this guy doesn't want partners. He wants to work alone, too.
Yeah.
He's a lone wolf.
Which I don't think necessarily... Yeah, but exactly. That's the first place you people go when someone wants to work alone.
like an offended
I like to
group
be
of
alone,
lone
too.
wolves.
Yeah. Like, square people
Sorry
always
to
like...
our lone wolf listeners out there.
Square people always get
The term
upset when someone's
offends
like...
you?
Yeah, when someone just like wants to like fucking do something by themselves or be alone, they're like, he's plotting to overtake us. He's going to kill.
I'll
He
overtake
wants to
you right
overthrow-
now.
You would like to overtake me right now, huh?
Yeah.
Put this part of your forearm on the back of my neck and just fucking just give it to me, huh? Like John gave it to the fires.
Dude, I just imagine that they find out that John's been setting fires so we can fuck them. And that's the...
Honestly, I think that's part of the appeal for arsons. You want to make love to fires. Fires have some sexy curves. I'm just saying.
By winter of 1990, John Orr's life was at a high point.
You ever see a flame? It moves like a dancing girl.
He finally had both a wife...
I'm an arson, guys. I'm just saying. I'm the arson comic. We all have to have a niche. All right? That's that comic that set things on fire. The arson comic.
I'm going to set this crowd on fire. No. Please.
Yeah.
Please don't do
As
that.
you're like grabbing me over the arms and
He
pointing
literally
me back towards
burned
the
down
stage. Just go
comedy
on
clubs
stage.
across
Yeah.
the country.
Just go do your bits.
And
Just go
they
do your
keep
bits.
giving him spots. Like,
No.
he just burned down that comedy club.
But he's really confident.
I'm
And
not
he's good
following.
looking.
I can't follow him.
He's good looking. Well, no, you can't. The place is burned down. You want me
Well,
to-
no, he was on NBC. We got to keep bringing him back.
Horrible
He's a draw.
feature. I hired him to feature
Can
for
we
me.
at least-
Horrible. He set the
Yeah,
stage
no.
on fire before I got up there.
He's
When I
clearly
said-
a headliner.
When I said I wanted
That's
a
right.
crowd work comic, that's not what I meant.
a crowd work with a flamethrower.
Yeah, don't do crowd work as the feature. What are you doing? The audience has to be alive and unburned
To
for
enjoy
the
this.
headliner.
There's so many rules. That's why we got to burn it
We're
down.
going to have to issue a bunch of refunds.
By the winter of 1990, John Orr's life was at a high point. He finally had both a wife and a partner he liked, both his fourth. His job was a half cakewalk and half investigation, and his novel was coming along nicely.
Let's go back to this cake. What flavor
I'm
was
hungry
it?
too.
Yeah,
He said there was a lot at stake earlier, and I was like, steak.
steak.
And he said, it's cakewalk, and you're like, cake.
Rich's face.
This show's about annoying Rich. It's about Rich.
But it's like, and then it's like sometimes his face is like, I wish they would shut up.
I'd say, but that's half of the humor. Is annoying. Like he's the dad trying to like be serious, and then we're over here like, what? But were his feet purple, you bitch? And he's like, I'm trying to tell you a serious story about an arson. That's half of the humor of the show.
Okay.
He likes it. Did you say cake? Because
Yeah,
we already
Let's
tried
go
to
back
tell
to
her
this cake.
it's a cakewalk, which sounds like a good way to eat
Potato,
cake.
my God, this show has gone off the rails.
You could with a cakewalk, you could actually eat cake guilt free because you'd burn off a lot of the calories by
what?
walking.
Sometimes I don't know whether they're give you guys the stick or the carrot, to be honest. All right. From December 1990 to March 1991, Los Angeles was gripped by its biggest arson spree yet. 19 arsons and attempts broke out around the city, mostly in displays of pillows and other bedding. Investigators found a number of incendiary devices, a cigarette attached to it, and a matchbook with a rubber band. A few witnesses from different scenes described the same suspect, a medium-sized, middle-aged white man wearing black pants and a black jacket.
Seen him before.
The man in black walked into a drugstore near one of the fires and yelled, quote, "There's a guy out there that was looking in the store's window. The guy was so ugly he caught the window on fire." That's a thing a guy yelled.
Somebody said.
Yeah.
So it was a bad comedian. Honestly, that's something that my grandpa
What
would
if
say,
that's the
too.
comedian that started setting the comedy clubs on fire when he was on stage? That's how he got his start.
Yeah.
Somebody laughed, and he was like, oh, my God, I can do this.
There was like an old school agent in line, and he's like, I got to work with that kid.
You guys ready for my favorite bad joke of the week?
Yes.
Here we go.
But are the listeners? They can't even vote.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
All right, you guys
listen,
got to hear
not
this.
fair,
You
but
don't have a
let's go
choice to
ahead.
listen to the show. How long does Matthew McConaughey last in bed? All night, all night, all night.
I thought you were going to say, all right, all right, all right. How do
it's
people
a
review
length of
That
Matthew?
wouldn't make sense, Chef.
How do people review Matthew McConaughey's lovemaking techniques? They say he's all right, all right, all right. Hey, what would happen if his left arm got chopped off? How would the rest of his life turn out?
All spite, all spite, all spite.
All right, that's right.
Yeah, see, I was rhymed it. It did
All
something.
spite.
Wouldn't he just use his foot?
The next day, officers caught the man in black.
That would also be all right,
Wait, the
all right.
officer what?
The officers caught the man in black.
Johnny Cash is in this story now?
That's who this homeless nut job is.
Ring
of fire.
Ring of fire.
Oh, shit.
I was an arson investigator, and ironically, I set the fires,
my
and it
God.
burned, 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 and then I jacked off on the fire. that arson fire.
The next day, the officers caught the man in black. He was a homeless nut job who set fires to keep warm while squatting in an abandoned hotel.
That sounds logical, though.
I mean,
You're
it's for a
homeless, you're
reason.
like, you won't give me a blanket, so I have to set everything on fire.
Wait, but where was this?
Fire's a lot like
What
a blanket.
city
In the
was
valley.
this?
This is in the valley right
Oh,
now.
it doesn't get that cold.
Oh, yeah, the Valley. I mean, I didn't even know they had a fire department out there.
It doesn't get like fire setting cold, does it?
In the Valley? Oh, the Valley
In the
gets cold.
wintertime, it'll do it.
Like it's still the 40s, I guess, at night sometimes.
Yeah. They arrested him for the arsons.
I like the silence that we really waited
It
there.
was good.
Case closed.
The homeless guy?
They blamed him for it?
Or so they thought.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Things quieted down again until March, when the arsonist struck.
Yep.
Oddly enough,
While the guy was still in custody?
That's the big test. I noticed that in many trials, on TV and in books. We have the guy in custody, yet the same
There's
things
fires
happening.
are still...
Half of the dumb detectives are like, something's off. Something is off.
how
here.
is this guy doing all this when he's still in jail?
He must be a fire starter like, what's her name? Drew Barrymore in that movie Firestarter.
Has this man been shipping his cum off, smuggling it out of the jail, and setting fires all over California?
Have idiot detectives.
That's the detective.
He's telepathically...
No, I'm telling you, it's not the guy that we have locked up.
No,
But it has to be.
Of course it is.
Guys, you two dumb detectives are not listening to me.
Look, he's wearing a black jacket. Obviously, he's at the fires.
You guys aren't listening to
and
me.
he's homeless.
Yeah,
But he's locked up. There's no way he can set the fire when he's here in front of me.
There's plenty of explanations.
Everybody
Magic,
knows homeless people love starting fires.
psychic abilities.
Okay, both of you are
cum
right.
smuggling. These are all pretty reasonable, plausible explanations.
They are reasonable explanations.
They
Both-
love making s'mores over the fires.
All right,
frying
you two,
chicken.
get back out there on the beat and solve this crime. He picks up the phone. He's like, yeah, I got these detectives are fucking dumb as shit over here. Can you guys send me someone else?
He must be telepathically starting these fires. It's the only logical
Yeah, the guy on the phone.
explanation.
The guy on the phone's like, Chief, why do you want me to send you somebody else? Those are the two smartest detectives you have.
Hey, Chief, I caught JonBenet Ramsey's killer.
Yeah?
Hi, I'm an 8-year-old boy. I don't know why I'm here. Shut up, murderer. See, I got him, Chief.
Yeah. You need to release that kid. He wasn't alive when Ramsey was murdered.
That's what you think. I did detective work.
All right, go back to your desk and fill out the report. And he calls his superior. Yeah, I got these two detectives. They are really fucking dumb.
Bam, 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 bam.
What the hell is that?
Oh, he was. I thought he was reaching for my gun.
I'm on the line with the governor, and did you just kill the 8-year-old boy?
kid?
Yeah, he was dangerous.
All right.
He said "mommy." I thought that it sounded like gun.
Was he black?
Probably.
All right.
I didn't really. I didn't really pay.
Probably.
I didn't
You
really pay
couldn't
attention.
tell?
No.
God, we go to that so often. Was he black?
He was just a criminal.
I mean, it's so easy.
Cops shoot everyone. Though. Look at this
Yeah, but they don't enjoy it as much.
That's
black.
a sick thing to say. That's so
Things
funny.
quieted down again until
Enjoy
March,
it as much.
when the arsonist struck again.
Black hunting. I mean, being a cop. That's so wrong. I respect police officers. For the record, I respect police officers,
Especially if you pull them
except
over.
for the racist ones and the violent ones.
Oddly enough, John's new partner...
Are there any left though? After you say that, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just riffing.
We had a Venn diagram.
Oddly enough.
Oh, sorry. Oddly enough,
John's
Yes.
new partner, an eager young investigator named Joe Lopez, asked John if he'd take the weekday off
Related
to go
to the
skiing
comedian?
with other firefighters.
to jack off two firefighters, to sit in the middle of two firefighters in the movie theater while he jacks them both off. Yeah, you could have the fucking month off, right?
And yes, that's exactly what happened. John said yes. That day, 5 fires went off in L.A. in just 2.5 hours.
Oh my God,
One
this
left
is
to his own devices.
comical. It's comical. No, go ahead. I'll be right there.
Yeah. You guys don't wait up.
The fires were so bad, the ATF joined the case.
The alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They're like looking at the paper. Like the boss like crosses off alcohol, crosses off tobacco, and then takes the firearms. And just,
Wait, is that really what it stands
crosses
for?
off the
Yeah,
arms.
ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Bitch, I thought you was educated.
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms?
Yeah,
Yes.
all shit you got in your trunk right now, girl. Anyways,
Why are those related?
They're vices, I guess.
I don't know. You could probably read about it. There's probably some weird theory as to why it got lumped together.
Smoke, drink, shoot. That's the game.
Yeah, it sounds like all the fun shit, right?
Smoke, drink, shoot.
No.
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearm. Smoke, drink, shoot. He just said it. Sounds romantic the way he says it.
I only like the A part of that.
Man, how else am I supposed to shoot the ocean if I'm not drunk?
And then after, I gotta smoke a fag, right?
Yeah, I get drunk, shoot the ocean, come, smoke a cigarette. That seems perfectly reasonable. I don't understand why there's even a problem with all this.
Honestly, with you saying it, I'm like, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, let's go, man. This is fun.
You're
I'm
right,
not
I'm
gonna
sold.
go with you, but as an American, I'm like, you should be able,
I think
you should have the right to go do that.
You got to
It's
come
the
with
American way.
me. You need to come with me right now.
I want to hang out with you. I'm just saying, go ahead and.
I don't know if you really have a choice anymore.
Okay, as you have a gun to my head
I have a gun and a cigarette to your head.
and some moonshine.
I'm gonna blow cigarette smoke in your face.
Yeah, Candice really does bring up a good point though. Like, why did those get lumped together?
I
I don't know.
thought you were kidding.
I'm with the Band-Aids, duct tape, and sriracha sauce department.
thongs.
Yeah, and thongs.
What?
Why does the federal have a bureau that investigates? So why does the bureau have to investigate? Why can't it just be some dudes?
Because you need checks and balances.
So, like, the ATF also investigates, like, if it's like an alcohol-related crime?
No, I think that they deal with.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
so confused.
I
Like,
think they deal with-
prohibition.
I think that they deal with more firearms, but I know that they're in.
Like, what? I don't understand what a tobacco crime is.
like bombs go into the firearm category.
Yeah.
So
But what about the alcohol? Like, I feel like firearms should be a
Well,
whole. They should have
alcohol could be used.
but they should have.
to
fire-
make
they
a
should have
Molotov
their
cocktail.
Own separate.
I think they
And-
do a shot and smoke a cigarette before they go in to like take care of firearms.
Boom.
So they
Oh,
say
that's
that
what it
they-
is. So it's
Yeah.
like more for the people who
Yeah.
are doing the work.
Yeah.
No, so here-
they do
if-
like their cheers. Ziggy, ziggy,
when you
ziggy,
pronounce
ziggy,
it
oh, oh, oh,
correctly,
and they do a shot.
When the actual pronunciation of the bureau is alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
And firearms. That's the serious part.
Yeah.
It really does sound. It does sound like a gentleman's club, though. Now that you mention it,
Yeah, it doesn't sound like any investigation type of department at all.
or a hip clothing company, alcohol,
Yeah.
tobacco. Dude, these jeans were $300, dude. They're from alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They're
It does
so
sound like
good, dude.
that.
They're so good.
They smell like tobacco.
Like how you pronounce it in the old school way.
Mhm, tobacco.
The fires are so bad, the ATF joined the case. Soon they started making connections. The fires all started in the same type of store with similar delay devices and torched various types of bedding. The ATF joined up with the LA investigators to create a new unofficial organization, the Pillow Pyro Task Force.
Oh, they had to like have a little. It's like Breaking Bad. They had to like break off
The
and really do a
PP?
little.
TF.
The PPTF.
Anytime you say pee-pee, though, it's pretty funny, right? Even if it's just the name Pepe.
PP
So
the
the
fuck.
ATF and the
PP.
PPTF.
Well, the
were
PPTF is a
combined.
combination of the ATF and
Oh, okay. So it just
local.
became bigger.
It's just one big. Yeah, we're trying, and also they named them the Pillow Pyro, which is
That's pretty funny.
I mean, I like
That
that.
sounds like it has to do with fucking.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably. That's maybe why he burned all the pillows. He's like, man, I don't want the fuck is not going well.
It's
If
symbolic.
I can't fuck, no one can fuck.
It's symbolic, yeah.
Although apparently he fucked a lot. Like I kind of cut out a whole paragraph from this
It
story
doesn't-
for time. But he like went on a he became like a serial dater. He
Yeah.
dated a ton of chicks. And one of them, I liked the story, but I had to cut it. But I'm going to tell it now anyway, and
yeah,
ruin
now
the
you're
time
telling
thing.
it. Yeah.
He was on a date with a girl he met on a personal ad, and then got a call for an arson investigation where someone had died, and she's like, "Oh, that's cool. Can I come with you? I've never seen a burned body before."
That's really weird.
He was dating Winters, guys. He was all
So
about
he
it.
was dating women that were similar to him. But I was going to say that it
Did
sounds
you guys
like
turn
the
down
pillow.
seeing this dead body?
Yes,
Me too.
absolutely.
Me too.
someone who burns pillows doesn't sound like someone who hates sex. It sounds like somebody who hates people that can get a good night's sleep. Like,
That's a
it
good
sounds
point.
like he's maybe narcoleptic and is like, fuck, god damn it.
Yeah. Or
And
like,
he just takes it out.
or
on the pillows.
my parents never let me have a pillow,
Yeah.
and I hate them.
Yeah.
Or his mother left his dad for a pillow. That's also possible.
Or he came out with a pillow, and then another guy came out with a better pillow
Ooh, shit.
Oh,
that sold more.
oh, he used to get beaten by people in pillow fights. That's like his first.
Do you guys
thing.
remember pillow people?
No, actual
No,
people.
what is
Remember
this?
pillow people?
No.
They were pillows, but they had like arms and legs.
Oh, yeah.
They were like dolls, but they were pillows, and they called them pillow
I
people.
know, I remember that now.
The people,
Yeah.
the people used to
It's
have
like
sex
from
with them.
the early 90s or late
People used to have
80s.
sex with those, guaranteed.
Probably. I mean, I think that's where those Japanese dolls came, or pillow people came from.
Oh, so it's Japanese.
I don't know if it's
totally.
Japanese.
The team soon got a lead.
I love when he just gets back into it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the
Like
members thought the firebug's MO seemed similar to the arson sprees in Bakersfield and Monterey. Not only that, the investigator in those cases, Marvin Casey, suspected the culprit was an arson investigator. The task force went to visit him, but they found his story unconvincing. But when they left, they took with them a copy of the fingerprint from Bakersfield, the one that had turned up no results years before. With nothing to lose, the task force ran the print through the LA County Sheriff's Department lab, a much more sophisticated system than the one used before. Maybe they would get lucky. Maybe the owner of the fingerprint had made it in the system in the last few years. They got a hit. An old fingerprint card from 1971, belonging to someone who had applied to the LAPD
Oh, I knew it.
20 years before.
I knew it was from an application, too. I just knew it.
On April 17th, 1991, an agent from the sheriff's lab called the Pillow Pyro Task Force and said,
PPTF.
and said, quote,
I like the way we did that. Can we do that together?
the
PPTF.
We all chest bump. Or we all dick bump like that guy from the World
Hey, I
Series.
don't have one of those
Candice is a
We'll give you one.
yet.
We have an extra dick?
Yeah. You didn't bring one?
No, I just have
Fuck,
mine.
I told you to bring the extras.
I don't have an extra.
Oh,
I
God.
just have my dick.
Patreon, please support us so we can get John an extra dick.
That's weird.
He screws on the other one, and this one shoots water to put out the fire. He just shot out of his dick right before that.
I knew you were my nemesis.
I wish I had a
Then he's got a
fire
fun dick which just shoots confetti.
It's that scene from X-Men 3 where the fire and the water guy.
No,
Party?
yeah, I'm party dick.
And he
Yeah.
and just shoots
Confetti.
confetti.
Yeah.
and
People
sparkle.
love me on New Year's. I'll tell you that much. People love
He's
me
got
on New Year's.
fireworks that
Hey,
come out of
honey,
one.
we need to decorate the cake. Did you bring the frosting dick?
How weird would that be?
Oh my god, this is like an infomercial for a dick that
people-
you can
people asking-
you can just screw on and it does dick.
People asking
One
favors?
squirts mustard for hot dogs.
Oh my God, just all your different dicks. One dick for all occasions.
Robo dick.
Robo dick. For your Japanese style birthday party, Robo dick.
Sorry.
On April 17th, 1991, an agent of the
Quinceañera
sheriff's...
horchata dick. Bar mitzvah Manischewitz dick.
The kids are standing around with cups catching the horchata.
As you're spraying it. But you actually have to have an orgasm to shoot the stuff out. So it's like really creaky.
He's like, hold on, kids, give me just 2 seconds.
Yeah. You just jack out. And everyone's like, what's that guy doing over there? He's making our taco seasoning.
Here's the official Wawa
We're
Hoagies.
thirsty.
Like powdered taco seasoning? You shoot that out? Like to marinate?
April 17th, 1991,
Sorry.
an agent from the sheriff's lab called the Pillow Pyro Task
Is that the
Force.
Sublime song? April 17, 1991.
April 29th,
Okay, I was close though. Okay.
1992.
There was a
April
riot on
29,
our street.
1992.
Tell me, where were you?
Yeah. An agent from the sheriff's lab called the Pillow Pyro Task Force and said,
The who?
I can't get through this sentence.
The
It's
poopity
impossible.
poopity tootity coogity.
It's impossible.
Foogity.
It's never going to happen.
The poopity poopity tootity
Sounds so
poopity.
not serious.
I know.
The
It just sounds like a joke.
It sounds like a Rainbow Bright episode. Someone call the Pillow Pyro Task Force.
Yeah, or it could be Adventure Time, totally. The Pillow Pyro Task Force at your service, sir.
Someone from the sheriff's lab called the guys trying to catch the arsonist.
Who's that?
No.
Okay. he
And
won't tell me.
said, quote,
I couldn't get him to say it.
and said, quote, you ought to tell your arson investigators to keep their mitts off the evidence. It was touched by John Orr. Ka-boom.
Oh, so they didn't think it was him. They went like, oh man, that's how shit happens. But we in this room,
They just thought he was.
We know.
He just had touched it, but didn't think he did.
Well, the
Yeah.
whatchamacallit. So here's what happened. The person, the department sent this thing into the lab, and the guy from the lab came back and been like, fuck, guys, you're
At the end?
mishandling
Tainted.
evidence.
Yeah.
That this guy touched it. Now, what they knew was there's no way he would ever have touched it because they collected it from the guy in Bakersfield. So now it's big, like, holy shit. He never touched that in the chain of evidence because we collected that from a dude in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
John Orr is our fucking guy.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
So they do know that.
This
It
right
took a
now,
minute to figure it out. but
I
yes.
even wrote in capital letters "kaboom" and I said it out loud to indicate that was the big turn in this part of the story.
I thought that's when who's that comic that says Kaboom was going to come through the door and just
Richie
finish
the
the
Sea?
story? Yeah, Richie the Sea.
My favorite C. So let me read that sentence one more time, and we'll try to get through it, and hopefully it'll be clear.
Yeah.
On April 17th, 1991, an agent from the sheriff's lab called the Pillow Pyro Task Force and said, quote, "You ought to tell your arson investigators to keep their mitts off the evidence. It was touched by John Orr." Kaboom.
So with that, but what I'm saying is for your motherfucking kaboom right now, did the other agents know, like, when he said that?
Immediately they're like, no, he didn't handle this because we got
so
this
they knew
He wasn't
okay.
there.
So I didn't understand that.
This
with
was
what you're saying.
this was the fingerprint they had gotten from the guy in Bakersfield sitting quietly.
So this other investigator is saying that, not realizing what
He
they
doesn't know.
Exactly.
So he
Right.
said, because it's been touched by John Orr, and they're like,
And they're
wait
like-
a second, fucking John Orr didn't touch the one in Bakersfield.
Right, he wasn't there.
Exactly.
Holy fuck.
Yep, exactly. In fact, they said it with that tone, too.
It's called the oh fuck moment when you go,
Holy fuck.
everything stops, and you hear the music from most Michael Bay trailers to go, boom, and you just go, oh fuck.
And all the heads
That was-
of the Pillow Pyro Task Force, their heads just exploded and feathers went down feathers just went everywhere.
All their dicks stood at attention and shot
Yeah.
fire. It's him!
When you retire, they give you a 21 dick salute.
Fire.
Your mom is gonna love this
retire
episode.
with fire. She wasn't.
She probably already
singing
turned
this,
out
singing this.
because we said come too much.
Yeah. Or she's fucking your dad right now because she's all turned on from the.
Oh, my God.
What? I mean, words are arousing, right?
That's a lot. That's a lot
arousing.
now. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
And the joy of knowing your son's creating like free art that he's just like really
Is this
passionate
live?
about.
Are we recording live?
Yeah,
No, I mean,
this is
recording
live
is not
right
going
now.
out live.
People,
Okay.
people are tweeting like what we're talking about right now, live tweeting.
Stop it.
No, they're not. I won't stop though. Can't stop, won't stop.
From that moment, the investigation exploded.
Ooh.
By April, they had an elaborate surveillance team in place. John Orr was attending another seminar in San Luis Obispo,
So he doesn't know he's under investigation, but they
Exactly.
do.
and they wanted to catch him in the act.
They don't like him anyways. He writes all these fucking periodicals.
They
He
had
shows up to
undercover
my
agents.
fires.
He went up to everybody.
They had undercover agents, 6 surveillance cars, and an airplane. They put a tracking device on his car. They followed him around for days, but not much happened.
Until.
But he did buy 2 packs of cigarettes. Odd, because they knew he did not smoke.
And
they
a
just-
singular rubber band.
They're just waiting now. Now they're eating sandwiches, smoking a joint. They're like, we're going to catch him.
Yes, the ATF is smoking a joint.
Get-
You're
get-
absolutely correct.
They can't do that?
Lieutenant Frank, get your
I thought we
confetti dick
agreed
ready.
that
We're
that's
about
what
to
they did.
celebrate.
He did.
Right? And the guy with the champagne dick, and they're like, all right, they got their glasses out.
There's a lady person and thing like, I don't have a dick to bring to this bus. All right, just bring your Italy. That's fine.
Bring your Italy.
The conference came and went without fanfare. But the task force was waiting for the drive home when they were sure John would make his move. Cruising down the 101, John suddenly pulled over at a random parking lot and walked to the rear of his car. He squatted down and saw the antenna of the tracker hanging. Their cover blown, most of the team wanted to take him at that moment, but they held their positions.
How did he know that?
Who knows?
No one knows.
I don't know how he knew.
No one knows. He might
Yeah,
have
but he
felt
got
it.
out of his car and looked.
Something else might have set him off. He might have heard something over the radio. He might have noticed that he's being followed, like in his rearview mirror. And the guy, like, he reads a ton of military or whatever
Yeah, he's
police
a
kind
crazy
of books.
person.
Like
He's
already
very observant.
He's aware of this kind of stuff. Yeah.
John jumped back into his car,
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
peeled out, and sped straight to the San Luis Obispo Police Department.
I'm being followed.
He ran inside for less than a minute, then back out and sped away. The task force was baffled. They went inside to ask the officer on duty what happened. He told them that John had run in, claimed that a bomb might be strapped to his car,
Hilarious.
and asked for directions to their explosive ordnance disposal range. The officer had asked if it might make more sense to call the bomb squad rather than drive around risking an explosion.
Right.
John replied that he was kind of a bomb expert and drove off.
What did he lean over the counter? He lean over the counter and go, you know, I'm kind of a bomb expert.
Really, you are?
Heard.
No, not really, but I just feel
That's
it.
a really funny quote. Kind of a bomb.
Kind of
you know,
a
I'm
bomb
kind of a bomb
expert.
expert.
You know, like
Kind of a big deal.
red wire, blue wire, right, guys? Like, come on. That's all you want to know, really.
This guy goes green wire. There's no green wire. Ha!
Oh, fuck.
Fooled you.
Task force members called ahead to the disposal range and gave the attending officer a story to tell. The bomb technician climbed into the car, grabbed the bug, and told John that it was a harmless, inert device that was probably placed there as a prank by guys from the seminar. He'd make sure they were properly chastised. John bought it. They continued to tail him back to L.A., but he made a habit of pulling anti-following moves like random U-turns and pulling into cul-de-sacs.
So he knew he was being tailed.
At this point, he's suspicious.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question that people don't really know is, did he do this just because he was being tailed, or is this how John always drove because he was living in this weird fantasy world?
Yeah.
Eventually, they had to let it go.
But just him being... Oh, yeah?
Why'd they have to let it
They had to
go?
stop following him because he was doing all these moves. Because, like, okay, one of the great ways to stop someone from following you or to catch someone following you is pull into a cul-de-sac and wait for them to turn down there. And then when they go, oh, I'm not supposed to be here.
It's like, yeah, you're following
So
me.
eventually they had to stop following him because they were trying not to totally
But just
blow their cover.
temporarily, they're going to proceed with the investigation.
Yeah.
No, they temporarily back off so as to not, like, totally blow it. Yeah.
How do you know? Because
I
that's
read-
the way
I-
they react, huh?
I read the
Do you
book.
fucking read these books? Are you an arson?
Yeah,
Huh?
I read a 400-page book. That's how I know.
Oh,
Oh.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's
No
fair.
worries. Not a
Okay.
big deal.
That's what John Orr said on Trail. But
Yeah.
anyways, go on.
While the task force was freaking out over John, he had his concerns of his own. His fourth marriage was falling apart, probably
I
because
can't believe that.
of yet
Yeah, I was
another
going to say,
affair.
by now you'd think he'd be so good at it.
Well, he was banging someone new now. And actually, my favorite parts about it is that, like, he was so into banging this new person that her kid called him dad, and he would, like, pick up her kid from the
So he's actually kind of a
she-
fatherly
She
John.
had a Cambodia.
yeah.
What's that mean?
That's
What joke have we been telling this whole entire story about vaginas?
Oh, I thought it was a pop culture reference that I didn't get because I don't listen to Power 106 or use the YouTube suggestion.
she had a Hawaii. Like, she had 5 openings. That's really disconcerting.
Oh, that's so gross. You fucked her in the mainland and in the what is it? The Oahu?
Girl, I'm gonna get your Maui so good.
Is that the small
Them
one?
volcanoes, though.
Well, actually, that's good.
Just don't eat Mexican food.
Oh, he's coming.
While his fourth marriage was falling apart, probably because of another affair, he was also laser focused on his novel, sending the 104,000-word manuscript to a pay-for-criticism writing service.
Do we know what the novel is about?
Just hold your seat.
Okay.
Did he sell it? Who's his agent? Are they looking for anybody else?
He had no idea what was coming next. As the summer war went on, more and more brush fires kept the city on its toes. All the while, John Orr kept working as the head arson investigator in Glendale. The fires continued into the fall, including a particularly bad one on October 2nd. John diagnosed it as arson, but now the rest of the department had to wonder what was real and what was just an act. A strange...
Why, they're all suspicious of him now?
Well, now it's starting to get words getting out to everybody. Like, dude, did you hear that? Because one of the most important things I read in this book a lot is that within police and fire department, the number one way to make sure everyone knows something is to tell a cop or a fireman because they're bored all the time just gossiping.
Yeah, you're
Right.
sitting in your car waiting
Yeah.
for the next call, so you're just like, yeah.
Right.
So by now,
It's
this
like the Geek
secret,
Squad.
this ATF secret is now the worst
Everyone
kept
knows
secret.
it.
Everyone knows it except for John. A strange break came that month. The Glendale Fire Battalion chief remembered that a few months back, he found his secretary doing some typing work for John Orr. It turned out to be a cover letter John was sending to publishers trying to pitch his novel.
Which is about an arson.
The chief found the cover letter that was one part novel pitch and one part smoking gun.
Oh, my.
Points of origin is about a firefighter
Oh, my God.
who
Are you
is
serious,
also a
John?
serial arsonist.
Stop it.
This is real.
This is like, what's his name? That
I was riffing, but that really was
This
what
is
it was
really
about?
what happened, yeah.
that documentary with that serial killer on HBO, the Jinx, Robert Durst.
Mhm.
You guys didn't see that? Where he
I saw
outs
some of it.
himself
I saw-
in the documentary.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because he had his mic on. That's different than, it's not like Robert just wrote a book like, I'm a
Well,
murderer.
yeah.
Didn't OJ write a book called
If I
Had
Did
Done
It.
If I Did It.
If I Did It.
I did it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Britney Spears joke. I'm a huge fan.
The task force really wanted to get their hands on the manuscript,
Never heard of it.
but they couldn't figure out how. As luck would have it, John was about to unknowingly hand it over. He called the LA Fire Department to see if there was anyone in the department named Aaron Stiles, which was the name of one of his main characters, a firefighter, and he didn't want to run into trouble later. The task force jumped at the chance and enlisted another former arson investigator turned author to reach out to John. He offered advice and helped to try to get it published. John immediately sent him the story. What the investigators read was fascinating. The story was about an arson investigator trying to catch a serial arsonist. The firebug turned out to be Aaron Stiles, a firefighter. Even more interesting, were the fires themselves.
They were all fucking specific to exactly what happened, weren't they?
They appear to be the exact same fires the
This
task
guy's
force
in
was
the
Same
investigating.
names.
This guy's in the yeah.
The big moment.
Aaron
Wilson.
Stiles on his fourth wife. Okay, sorry. When he thought he found a bomb under his car. Okay.
The big moment came in Chapter 6 when Stiles set fire to Cal's, a hardware store in South Pasadena.
You should have named yourself Ron Dorr on the character. That would have been funnier, too.
Ron Dorr.
Yeah, like John Orr, Ron Dorr.
In the story, 5 people died, including a little boy named Matthew.
That was 2 years old.
The book also shed light on a possible motive, as Aaron Stiles got a sexual thrill from watching things burn. To put it bluntly,
All right.
the
Candice
book
and I, this isn't a
contained...
video podcast, but Candice and I both just did the slow turn.
Yeah.
To put it bluntly, the book contained a lot of boners.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
What? Like, I read a description about the book, and someone's like, it's a boner fest. The book is just a bunch
Wait,
of
is this
fire...
book still out
The book's
there?
out? You can get the book?
Can we read this?
Yes. I'll give you the information at the end of the
Oh my
podcast.
God, I have to read
You can get the
You
book.
guys know, I think we should read it together. Can we have a book club?
I'm in.
Sure.
I'm dead serious.
Sure. Can we set the books on fire afterwards so I can get a hard on?
Absolutely.
Okay.
By November, the task force had a new tracking device hidden in John's car. All they had to do now was wait for a fire and match his signal to the location.
And then we'd know.
It didn't take long. A fire soon broke out at Warner Brothers.
And a new chapter was written for the book.
And coincidentally, John just happened to be in the area. But the tracking device didn't show him getting to the scene until nearly 3 hours after the blaze started.
What?
They were stumped until they discovered that he had flashed his badges at a pedestrian entrance hours earlier. They were finally closing in.
Oh, wow.
John kept showing up too quickly at fires, adding more and more evidence to the case against him. December 4th, 1991, they finally arrested John Orr. He was carrying a bag containing his guns, a tape recorder, a wine opener, binoculars, 7 brown paper bags, a pack of cigarettes, 2 books of matches, a plastic bag of rubber bands, and a lighter.
Sounds like a good time to me. Not a crime in this country.
Swag bag.
John Orr...
Arson swag bag.
Comedy Central gave me a swag bag. It's got a couple of matchbooks in here from random restaurants.
Here's a dick gun. I didn't know they made that.
Dick gun.
John Orr fit the FBI profile on organized serial arsonists to a T. He was employed, vain, and looking to project an air of authority. Monogamous relationships were impossible. He also had a compulsive need for excitement. Most frustratingly, organized serial arsonists were nearly impossible to interrogate, as they usually believed all the evidence had burned up in the fire. When John found out they matched him on just one partial fingerprint, he exploded.
Again.
You guys are on a fishing expedition. You're running a game on me. Find me a
They're
motive.
like, no, that's next weekend.
Yeah.
How'd you find out about our fishing expedition?
Yeah, the policeman, firefighter, fishing cook-off.
You guys didn't invite me? Fuck you guys. That's why I've been setting fire, because you always leave me out.
Setting fire is a term, It means like I've been writing good stuff for my book.
On July 31st, 1992, a jury in federal court convicted John Orr of 3 counts of arson.
That's it?
He later pled guilty to 3 more counts in 93 in a deal to get him a possible parole by 2002.
Oh my God, he's walking the streets right now.
50 fires.
But then in 1998...
And a kid died in one of them,
But
right?
then in 1998, a jury convicted him of murder in the hardware store fire.
Yep.
Okay.
He was sentenced to life plus 20 years in prison without the possibility of parole.
I just...
Let it out.
He's never leaving. He's never leaving
I'm
jail.
just like, if you get horny from watching a fire, just like sit in front of a fireplace and jack off.
Right. That's what fireplaces
You
are
kill
for.
people.
I thought that's why the person who invented fireplaces
fires
did
are
it.
like porn. You start with regular missionary-style fires. Next thing you know, it's gangbang fires. Then it's gagging fires. Now you're looking at tranny fires.
It's
just escalates.
It's a gateway
over and
fire.
over again.
It's a gateway fire.
I'm still just looking at casting couch fires. So that's just me.
Well, wait, can we talk about how does one become sexually aroused by fire? Was he abused in front of a fireplace?
I told you, fire's got sexy curves to it.
I mean, they do.
It's not enough for most of us.
Yeah,
but
no.
For him,
he watched it at a formative age. That house burned down.
Yeah, but no, something happened.
Well, no, he was being jerked off by his brothers while it happened. Did I leave that out? That's
You
not a true
silly
fact.
I was like,
That's
wait
just
a
me
second.
saying things.
silly frick.
I don't have that.
You burning a bridge.
You know I am. The ATF believes that John Orr...
Asshole, titty, fuck.
Yes.
That's acronyms.
The asshole titty fuck believes that John Orr...
That'd be so funny if I was president. I'd be like, this is how you guys...
That's why I named this. I renamed it.
That's titty fuck.
The FBI is now the fuck boobs inquisitors.
Yeah.
Yeah. The CIA is the come in assholes group.
That one might be my favorite.
Come in assholes.
Mhm.
That was pretty good.
What's the other one? There's got to be another one.
The NSA is the nipple suck
son.
attendants.
Nipple suck attendants? Like people that help you out?
Yeah.
I need a nipple suck attendant.
Right here, sir.
I got you.
I'm on my way. I've been listening to your calls. I knew you'd need me.
First form your mouth into an O.
How'd they become from a different country?
I mean, who else is going to attend you, sir?
Yeah, I must attend to this man. He needed his nipples sucked.
Oh, attendance, obviously.
Immediately.
What a good boy.
Carry on.
Go on with what you were doing. I'll suck your nipples. You won't even know I'm here.
But I can hear you.
If someone tells you that, like,
But your nipple sucking is very distracting.
You're like, I got a lot of work. I'm trying to write a novel, and they're like squeezed in and like in between you and your keyboard. Like,
Sorry, sir. Did I distract you a bit?
Thank you. That'll be enough.
The ATF believes that John Orr is the worst serial arsonist in the last century.
Like he was really bad at it, or he did.
They hold him responsible for over 2,000 fires.
Oh my God!
Set between 1984 and 1991.
There's not even that many days in a year. That means he set fires like every.
There were some days where he set multiple fires, like in Monterey and Bakersfield and shit.
Jesus.
This is supported by the fact that after his arrest, brush fires in the area dropped by over 90%.
Stop it.
He was the fires.
Yeah, it was him.
He was the fires.
Orr still maintains his innocence to this day.
Well, of course.
Saying that the character of Aaron Stiles was a composite of the many arsonists.
Oh, wait, he admitted to 3 more, you said.
Well, you could admit something in court under that pressure and then still like publicly be like, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like you could legally do that.
He took a
That's
plea
free
deal.
Country.
Took a plea deal.
Yeah.
So who knows?
You could be like, I just plead that. And then you'd, yeah.
Orr says that the character of Aaron
Candice is
Stiles.
so disappointed, right? Just looking at Candice going like, this guy's just a piece of work. I'll tell you. Look at she's so mad.
He's white man.
Oh, he's
I'll
black,
tell you.
actually. I didn't tell you that. He's black.
No, he's not.
Oh, no.
Definitely white.
I mean, Aaron Stiles might be black, but
Yeah.
not John Orr.
The character is black.
Aaron
it was a black guy I was writing about.
That couldn't have been me.
Aaron Stiles is actually an Indian man that assumed a different name so he could fit in, like
John-
Tom Haverford from Parks and Rec.
John says that Aaron Stiles was a composite of the many arsonists he arrested over his career. But another retired L.A. arson investigator later made a wild discovery. Aaron Stiles is an anagram for I set L.A. arson.
Oh my gosh. That's just creepy, dude. That's so weird. Like, some people put graffiti up with their name all weird. Some people set a
I
bunch
have
of them
rarely stunned this podcast as hard as that one
That's
did.
so fun. Well, an anagram's pretty fucking funny,
Yeah,
dude.
that's
That's pretty weird. Yeah,
crazy.
Candice is creeped out right now.
That's deep.
And then there's one more twist. This guy is John Orr. No, I'm joking.
The story has been covered by PBS's Nova and A&E's Cold Case Files. The story also made it into an HBO movie starring Ray Liotta as John Orr.
I was going to ask, have they done
Point
a
of
movie
origin.
of this?
Yeah.
Because I want
Oh.
to see it.
Because I also wonder if it inspired the movie, like if Backdraft at all was all inspired by that.
No, that's a whole different thing.
Because in Backdraft, Donald Sutherland's character is an arson.
Oh,
right?
that's interesting. I
Well,
wonder if there's a
thanks for ruining Backdraft.
Are you serious? You haven't seen Backdraft?
I was going to see it this weekend. But never mind.
What a random weird. I was actually going to see it. I'm visiting my aunt.
She's looking for Netflix queue. See? It's next. It's next in my queue.
Yeah, she shows me on her phone.
John Orr's book, Point of Origin, is still available for purchase. Proceeds go to help the victims of his arsons.
Oh, that's good.
Well, that's good, yeah.
I'm going to definitely get that for my Kindle.
Apparently, it's not a good book.
It can't be. He's not an author.
I mean, he is, though. He's published.
Yeah, it's like he's passed. His name's up at the arson store, okay? That was a Comedy Store joke for our listeners.
This is being recorded at the in the Comedy Store dungeon.
The dungeon at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
No skeletons hanging up here.
None.
Just a bunch of comics hanging out here doing a podcast.
And the ghosts of murders and abortions. That's right.
Stop it.
That's not a real thing.
Yeah,
It is real.
Okay. Israel? What about it?
You haven't heard about these?
What?
The ghosts.
Oh, I've heard about the ghosts. I thought
Oh.
you meant like the abortions. I was like,
That is true, too.
how would you be a ghost of an abortion?
No.
Floating
the
around.
babies.
You're a ghost portion.
That's what I'm saying is the babies.
Yeah, well, they haunt us, too.
The babies grow up in the nether.
No, they're just
realm?
fetuses that haunt you.
That's the scariest kind of
How
ghost.
would you notice if a fetus haunted you?
How do you notice if
Well,
a grown
because you
person
step on it
haunts you?
accidentally.
If a grown person haunts you, you'd be like, oh my God, there's a man standing in the hallway. But you're
Yeah,
like,
and then there's a baby. Same thing.
someone would be like, that was a speck of dust that light hit.
No, it's a bigger baby. Bigger fetus.
Your rationale for these fetus ghosts is awfully weird. to
bigger
me.
fetus.
I don't know if I trust your logic.
Why
on
you
this
acting like fetuses got to be the same size?
one. Okay.
Today's sources
That's right.
include
Let's fucking duke it out.
Fire Lover by Joseph Wambaugh, the New York Daily News, and, of course, the evil robots at Wikipedia.
Those evil robots. They're
I
not
got to
even
look
human.
this guy up.
They're not even human.
Evil Ken Bone.
Yeah,
I like
evil,
that other guy.
evil Ken Bone.
That other guy's named Joseph Wambaugh.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the book I read, Fire Lover. Really fantastic. He went and did a huge investigation.
He's a fire
On this
lover.
guy.
Yeah.
And that book was better than the book the fiction book that this guy wrote.
Well, I mean,
This
one is a
flames.
novel written by a guy who jerks off
And
to
this is
fires.
an
The other one is
actual-
an investigator who writes true crime stories.
Okay.
It's so interesting that you could get that aroused that you'd actually get a boner and jerk off to the fire. Like I could see if okay, the fire reminds you of a time that you got laid by a fire, and you see the fire and it makes you go, I gotta go.
Yeah, but he was like a kid.
But still, it's just weird that the fire itself would be the thing that you'd be like, fuck yeah.
I mean, why couldn't he just
'Cause
have
you
gotten
can't-
his boner from killing a skunk, and then he just goes and kills skunks forever?
Yeah, and what's so interesting is the skunk part of the story, because it really, when you said that, I was like, okay, he's going to be like a serial killer. He likes
Well,
taking
That is
life.
a serial killer trait. When you
when you kill an
murder a random
animal,
for nothing.
Wambaugh's book
Not to-
uses
not
that
to
skunk
hunt.
story as kind of a callback consistently throughout, like with John Orr's personality. I just didn't seem to didn't really feed.
He's
our
got the
narrative.
personality of a dead skunk.
Yes.
Well, it just seems like he's similar to a serial killer, though. The serial
They're
arsonist.
I mean, he's a sociopath, clearly, psychopath. So it's like
What's the difference again? Okay, sociopath is.
there really is
That's
not
the hot one.
there's not much of a difference. I know a lot of times violence gets associated with a psychopath, whereas a sociopath is just someone who has no remorse or a conscience.
Sociopaths have good hair.
Sociomania.
Psychopaths have bad hair.
Yes.
There you go.
There's really there's honestly though, there's not a big difference between narcissistic personality disorder, sociopaths, and psychopaths. They're very similar.
And people fucking.
Yep.
People do fuck.
Heard of it.
People get
Just look
hard.
for the dead eyes.
Yep.
Dead eyes.
Candice, where can people find you?
At Jokes by Candice on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and it's Candice with an I-C-E, not A-C-E.
Fuck yeah,
Like
it is.
Candace.
You can find us on social medias at CrimePod, CRIMEPODE.
And Flame Dick Slaton.
Flame Dick Slaton. Yeah, I'll be doing that one pretty soon. You can also email us, crimepodcast@gmail.com. Send us story ideas, questions that you have, dick pics, like whatever you're into.
Don't send dick pics.
Send them all.
Send them to Rich. I don't want to see that.
Send them, label them for John Shefsky's Eyes Only.
How dare you?
And please support the Patreon. This show takes a lot of work. It's about 10 to 12 hours a week of work to research and write these stories and put them all together and record them and edit them and shit like that. And your donation, your support helps us
Put together the product we put
together
for
the
you.
product /
Make us-
get Starbucks.
Can I also promote my podcast?
Fuck yeah! What's your podcast?
Ofarious on iTunes.
It's like offensive and hilarious put
Yep.
together.
Offarious.
So you do that with Brenda Colonna?
I do.
Oh, there you go.
Hell
The
yeah.
great Brenda Colonna.
Brenda Colonna.
And yeah, if you enjoyed this and you are a Patreon subscriber
What about
at our
Shefsky?
well, we don't plug our own things because they're attached to our. If you go to our social medias, you'll have our social media profiles. So we
I
stop
really
saying
appreciate you
our
looking
own
out for
things.
me.
You're
That's
right.
what I love about you.
You can find him at
She's the opposite-
Backdraft Ruiner.
She said, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Backdraft spoiler.
Spoiler, yeah. Just in case you haven't seen it yet, Donald Sutherland is the arson. I apologize for letting that one out of the bag so early.
You motherfucker.
That movie's like 30 years old.
I know.
Guys,
It's a great
I have a trip to Italy I have to make, so I'm gonna get out of here.
You're going to get laid?
I'm going to Italy
That's awesome.
You know what that means.
or Argentina, depending on how you want to
How many baths she's had today?
how you
Okay,
want to
cool.
play it. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying, bro?
That's right. I'm going to Australia or New Zealand.
Never going to Sudan. That's just
Or Sudan.
Well,
that's,
yeah.
That's all the way up north, right?
yes. That's not where it is at all.
No, that's not at all.
North.
Well,
It's in Canada,
I'm looking,
right?
I'm looking at a globe. Sudan's in Canada.
But yo, I fucked
You
with
just-
Morocco, son.
Just stick with your stand-up comedy. Don't make any maps anytime soon.
Huh?
Uh,
But I want to be a cartographer, and you can't tell me I can't.
my grandpa was a cardiologist. He used to make maps.
Cardiologist.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you, guys.
robot.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Thanks for checking us out. Or not checking us out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for continuing to subscribe. Thanks for supporting. I love you guys. I'm just a fan of people in general. I'm just a huge fan.
Bye, robot.
They're all right.
Bye, guys. JohnShefsky.com.